If you were paying attention to what happened at Petco Park last night, a couple of things happened. So the Padres are officially streaking. I mean, that's
Mike's on.
That's 3 wins in a row, boys.
Wait, Mike, in a row?
Yeah, in a row.
My God.
So the Padres, will they ever lose again? We'll get to that in a second. The other storyline is the Padres already won this series as they ready themselves to head back out on the road. They have a game against the KC Royals in KC that's coming up on Friday, but they still have the getaway day game against the Marlins before that. So we have a lot of excitement here on the home front. And then you get to the back end of the bullpen. Woo! Jeremiah Estrada.
Golly.
Now, the upper 90s fastball whiz kid is just dominant over his past couple outings. He has now thrown 13 consecutive strikeouts, breaking a major league record dating back to 1961, because beyond that, we don't have complete play-by-play statistics. So he
look, this is what the Padres do, guys. Okay?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Everybody knows this. They go out and they shove, especially against bad teams.
Right,
Yeah.
right. They rarely lose to bad teams. We know that from watching them this entire season.
Now, last season, they were at 500 on May 11th, and they didn't get back to 500 until September.
Yeah, right.
So it took a long time. Now, here we are, end of May, 2 games over 500. This season already light years better.
It's unbelievable. I mean, and what feels good when they're winning is you're like, oh, I get it. Like, I can see the light. Like, I completely understand how the Padres could be a playoff baseball team and could potentially make this a special season. However, when they're losing, you feel the exact opposite.
Yep.
When they're losing, you think to yourself like, oh, yeah, I get it. Everything is so tenuous. All it takes is a couple bad games in a row, and this team, it really does feel like they could just slip and slide away the rest of the season. It's like a mudslide. Once it starts going downhill, it isn't stopping.
Well, the problem is they'll get on a winning streak, or they'll have a couple good series, and you feel like they have some momentum, and then they lose to a team like the Rockies, and they lose bad. And then you go, what the hell is going on? And then also you see them run into some buzzsaw teams like the Yankees, who look absolutely legit. However, then they play the Dodgers, who the Dodgers are supposed to smoke the Padres, and the Padres stand up and play some of their best ball. So, man, this team is hot and cold, and man, oh man, it's an emotional roller coaster. But right now, we're going streaking.
I'm glad TD's taking the high road on this, because I won't. Today is going to be my morning monologue will explain what's wrong with the Padres. But now, it's been awesome. And Jeremiah Estrada, what a bright spot on the season that's been. And 13 consecutive strikeouts. Like, that's a big deal. When you actually start to think about it, how tough that would be to do. And we just watched it unfold over the course of a few nights. It's incredible. And now you think about later in the season, like if Suarez goes too many days in the rows, well, you have a backup closer if he can continue this streak. We'll see. He's 25 years old. The issue I have with the Padres, and maybe it's starting to turn around, is the fact that Fernando Tatis and Manny Machado still aren't hitting really. Now, Fernando had a couple knocks last night, but neither of them really hitting for power. Fernando did have a home run in that Yankees series, but it's like neither of those two guys, who both should be around 12, 13 home runs right now, are even close to double digits. I think Fernando's at 9, Manny's at like 5.
See, that's where you're looking at this the wrong way. This is 2024.
You're right.
Fletch.
I'm sorry.
This is 2024.
We're relying on Jerks and Profar. That's our guy.
Yeah.
He did hit another freaking home run last night.
Have you heard of Solano? I mean,
3 hits last night.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. We got new superstars.
See, but and this goes like when we had Kevin Acee on 2 weeks ago, I asked him this, and then last week I kind of rephrased it. But when you look at it, if you're relying on Jeremiah Estrada, Jerks and Profar, and Donovan Solano to be the best players on your team, you're probably not that good of a team.
Well, I will say this though, Machado has made better contact over the last 15 games or so. I mean, when you look at his stats season long, it is disappointing. But when you look at, and I'm talking very recent, say the last 5 series or so.
Take out the Yankees.
Yeah, the Yankees, he was pretty cold. He's over His average isn't great. Over the say over the last 7 games,
He's starting to hit better.
Say over the last 7 games. Let's see. Last 7 games, 320 average, 393 OPS or on base percentage. He's slugging 480. So those are about his career numbers. You know, that's what you expect out of Machado. And like you said, he hasn't really hit for power this season yet. And he hasn't hit in clutch spots when you have base runners on.
Clearly, he's saving it.
yeah.
I love TV today.
Saving it to the end of the season. I mean,
this guy didn't have any traffic on his way to work. He is flying high.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Honestly,
that's a really good
point. One of the best commutes I've ever had in my life.
And it shows.
So there was a traffic break about one exit north of the on-ramp that I get on. And I get on the freeway and it's just a ghost town. And I thought, what's going on? I look in the rearview mirror and I see, cop lights there. They stop traffic and then they let him go. Right. I mean, like I was a quarter mile down the road. And so I look like the official pace car of San Diego.
Flashback to COVID times.
Oh, God, that was good times.
Dude, it was so creepy when I would get on the freeway in the mornings during COVID and no one was on the freeway.
That was the zombie apocalypse.
It was God, it was good.
Dude, those first 2 weeks were legit.
We all had to come to the studio and work. All 3 of us. I no point did we ever have like the whole. Why don't you guys just stay home for a couple months? Like it was more like, hey, listen. When you come into the building, you just call so nobody will be near the entrances.
Exactly.
You go to your studio and then just shuffle out with a mask on.
Also, go to Vaughn's and get your emergency worker card or whatever it was, which I never got.
Oh, yeah. We got FEMA responder cards. I have it in my bag. Just in case I ever need it, I'd be like, listen, I'm late for work.
There it
I'm
is.
with FEMA.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, Fletch holding it up here. Golly.
Did you get in one of those like clear window, like clip-on badges?
Yeah.
You think this will ever be worth anything on eBay? That's my credit card.
Yeah.
I mean,
the credit card or the.
Yeah.
No.
The FEMA card might be worth more than the credit card.
Actually, I agree with that. Yeah. Because we experience end times.
I am a critical operations employee.
Same, dude. Same.
Well, you were.
It's not even expired yet. It expires in November of this year.
I'm kind of sad. I wish I would have got one now. It seems fun.
Yeah, it is neat. Yeah, it is really neat. You know who's not a critical responder? Fernando Tatis Jr. Who
got a hit?
Yeah.
I think what's he batting, like 188? That's pretty good.
So on the season,
better than me.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yes, it's better than TD. On the season, he's got a 249 average, a 331 on base percentage. His OPS is 744. Over the last 15 games, 224, 318, and 310. Like he has been 310 slugging, not OPS. He has been ice cold. He has been ice cold. The problem with Fernando Tatis Jr., and we talked about this a little bit before, is Fernando before the ban and after the ban are 2 different players. So we still got to figure out what we have in this bright young superstar who they literally backed the Brinks truck up to his house and dumped money on his front lawn and said, well, you're going to be with us for the next, decade and a half. So enjoy that money. Don't swim in it like Scrooge McDuck because we need you in shape for next season.
Steroids.
Well, so it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because
are you ready to draw conclusions on that?
In terms of
like the correlation?
Well, I mean, look, steroids help baseball players.
Right.
I don't think there's any hiding that. So again, the substance that he was taking is a performance enhancing drug, is banned by Major League Baseball. And so getting busted taking something that you're not supposed to be taking, that baseball believes gives you an unfair advantage over other players. And then on the other side of that, looking like a different player is a problem for the Padres because they made the investment on one side of the ban. And now he looks like a different player on the other side of the ban.
And it's not different sports where contracts can somehow get changed or going away. Like they're paying Fernando Tatis Jr. that money. And it's just a matter of, will he live up to the money? And I, for one, still think he will. Like, I think we know special when we see it, and we saw enough from Fernando at an early enough age to where I know that special is still there. It's just, when are we going to see it again, and what's it going to take to get him back? Darnay Tripp, I believe, had this. I could be wrong, but was talking about the change in his swing over the last few weeks. and that he's shortened everything up to try to get to better contact. If that was Darnay, thank you for it. If it wasn't, I'm sorry I gave credit to you. But he's shortened up his swing to try to start making better contact. And it has shown that in the last couple weeks, he is starting to hit the ball a little bit better, although still not for power. But I think if Fernando just starts, it's like a basketball player who's been in a slump. Sometimes you just need to see the ball go in the hoop once or twice. I think that special still lives inside Fernando, and they just need to figure out a way to unlock it.
Yeah, I think it does too. I don't think you're wrong with that. I agree with Rich, though. This is a bad look for Fernando. It's a bad look for the Padres coming out on the other side of the band and just not being the same player. I gave him some reprieve last season. I called it the apology tour, where he had to play nice and he just didn't play well. Or he had moments, I guess. And then here we are this season, where it's a lot of the same we saw from a year ago. But you do see moments of that lightning rod. You see moments of that special player. And I agree with you, Fletch. If he can get in the groove, all of a sudden get some of that confidence back as he's making contact, you might see a resurgence of the Fernando of old. But
I hope so.
The guy is talented. I mean, the guy can play. So I have a feeling that, and we talked about this in the past as well, whatever he was doing to, control that ringworm was probably more so to try to get back to full health quicker than trying to upgrade his performance. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe not. Maybe it was all the performance enhancing drug that made Tatis.
Maybe. And that's what Dodger fans will tell you.
Yes, but, they over and over and over again.
Continuously.
Yeah.
If you look at this Padres team right now, we've talked about Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis Jr. not performing. They're 2 games over 500 without those two guys who were supposed to be the linchpins of their offense. Like, that's something that, if you're talking Padres positive, I think that's the biggest one we could have all year long, is that even with their 2 superstars not playing up to their potential, they're still 2 games over 500 here, 60, whatever days we are into the season. And so that, I think if it can change, like, you're looking at a serious playoff team. But if it doesn't change, then this could easily falter out, because how much longer can we just hold our breath and hope Jerkson Profar continues this reign of terror he's been on?
Yeah, it's absolutely accurate. It does bring some positivity, or it brings a silver lining when you say, okay, they've underperformed in moments, but over the course of the season, Manny Machado hasn't looked like Manny Machado. And Fernando Tatis Jr. certainly hasn't looked like Fernando Tatis Jr. did over the first couple of seasons, where he was a Padre and was tearing the cover off the baseball and was the most exciting athlete on the field, doesn't matter what team they're facing. So if he can get back to that form, or anything resembling that form, if Manny Machado starts playing like the all-star that he is, that he's been known to play like, especially after having a down season. Like, it's very rare. Go back and look at his career stats where he has a tough year and he follows it up with another tough year. Like, Manny Machado is more consistent than that. So the expectation is for him to fight his way out of this season-long slump so far. And it's a big sample size now. Like, this has been a big old slump to start this season for Manny Machado. If they do that, pair that with the fact that they are hovering around 500 or over at the moment, this bodes extremely well for the Padres. Now, look, you need some luck. You need your pitching staff to stay healthy. You need your lineup to stay healthy. You need some things to break your way. Last year, none of those things broke the Padres' way. So again, things progressing to the mean, you hope to see that happen this year.
And then it's cool when you see a knuckleballer dealing. And Matt Waldron had his best pitching performance of his career last night. It comes against the Marlins, who have really been struggling. But he goes 7 innings. The knuckleball was jumping all over the place, especially as he got into the 4th and 5th inning. It's like the last movement on the knuckleball, it would just disappear.
Yep. It
is so much fun to watch a knuckleballer when they're in control and they know what the ball is going to do, because for sure nobody else in the ballpark knows what they're doing. The catcher got crossed up a couple times last night. That's when you know the knuckleball is working. And it was dancing last night, man. Marlins had no chance.
What do you go, 7 innings?
7 innings,
yeah,
which is cool. The best of his career.
It was awesome. I mean, again, Marlins, not a great team, so the Padres should be beating them. They should have days like this, but they just haven't. So on a Padre positive, when you see the Padres actually doing what they're supposed to be doing, it gets you a little excited, gives you a little hope here. And 2 games over 500 feels pretty good. Damn because, right. I mean, we didn't feel that until the last day of the season. Winner.
Yes. Well, what I got for you is Big Cat Karl Anthony Towns. Meow meow.
Hey, do not give him the big cat. That's Tiger.
K-A-T. Big cat.
Why can't only Tiger can be the big cat?
Yes.
This is a much bigger cat. He's so much taller than Tiger. He busted out of his shooting slump. He scored 25 in the Minnesota Timberwolves 105-100 Game 4 victory over the Dallas Mavericks last night. That was the Wolves' first win of this series and much needed facing elimination. Towns shot 9 of 13 from the field, 4 of 5 from 3-point. He scored 10 points in the fourth quarter, clutched up for the Wolves on their way to victory. So the series head to Minnesota next for Game 5. That's going to be tomorrow night. Mavs up 3-1 now. Caitlin Clark out of the WNBA. Even though the Fever lost last night against the WNBA's only other one-win team, the Indiana Fever rookie strung together her most complete game yet by scoring a season-high best 30 points. She dished out 6 assists. She grabbed 5 bounds, 3 steals, 3 blocks. They lost 88-82 to the Los Angeles Sparks.
What was the first thing you said there? The very first part of that.
I have no idea. She had a big night?
They lost.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're still losing.
We're going to talk about this a little later on, but I don't get the headlines.
Well, what do you mean?
She's been in a slump.
I know.
The headline. Well, okay, we will get into it.
We'll get into it. I just don't get it.
I get it. Trust me, I get it very much so, and we'll definitely spend a little time stretching our legs on that topic. Hey, so really quick, out of the NFL, I was looking at the Cowboys, and I was thinking about their situation. Dak Prescott, Mike McCarthy, both of them kind of hovering around potentially having lame duck years if they don't get extended. Mike McCarthy almost definitely going to be on a 1-year contract unless, who knows? I mean, I guess the Cowboys could roll out and win 10 games in a row and then maybe force Jerry Jones's hand to say, all right, 1 more year for you, Mike. or they could start sucking and then maybe McCarthy gets fired because it sort of feels like that's what Jerry wants to do anyways. But in terms of Dak, I am very curious if they get a deal done with Prescott before kickoff of this season. Like, is he going to be a $40 million contract? Most likely not. That was the contract he just signed. Is he going to be a $45 million a year guy? Probably not, because the going rate for quarterbacks is over 50. Is he going to be a $50 million a year guy? I mean, how much are you going to pay Dak Prescott per year?
He's going to.
And if there's a contract, it's going to be in the 50s. Now, I think the question that Jerry has to ask and the question Dak has to ask, if he's going to do any holdout or anything, has he earned it? And if I'm looking from the outside looking in, I'm saying no, because the Cowboys haven't won in the playoffs with him, really.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The problem is real estate values have gone up in price. So he's going to be, my guess is he will be the highest paid quarterback of all times when the deal gets done. I don't know if he's worth that, but who else are you going to go out and get at the moment? You're going to have to lock him up. And like I said, I mean, just the value of quarterbacks have gone up. So if he's
already under contract, though.
Yeah.
They don't have to pay it. This isn't a situation where it has to get done before the season unless Dak forces his hand. But if he forces his hand, if I'm Jerry Jones, I'm looking like, you're not worth it.
Yeah, but
where are you going to go?
Exactly.
Cooper Rush.
Okay. So you have a Ferrari of a team. What, are you going to keep it in the garage? Look, this team could.
I mean, he's already a $55 million cap hit this year.
Oh, yeah. I'm aware. Which, by the way, you could knock that number down if you reorganize his contract, which is exactly what his agent is telling the Cowboys. Like, he's way more expensive to you this year and next year. Well, potentially next year. He's way more expensive to you this year than he would be. And you guys will have to figure out what you're doing next at quarterback in a big hurry if you don't extend Dak. So they're making that argument on their side. And also, the argument that was made, there was a Sports Illustrated article. It was one of the Cowboy blogs that I was reading from.
Written by AI?
It might have been. Who knows? It was a glowing piece talking about Dak Prescott.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so just listen to the first 2 paragraphs, and then I will refute it. But Dak Prescott has consistently delivered strong performances since entering the league in 2016. His stats speak for themselves. He's one of only 3 players in NFL history, alongside Cam Newton, Jeff Garcia, to achieve 100-plus touchdown passes and 20-plus rushing touchdowns in their first 5 seasons. Additionally, Prescott's 14 game-winning drives in his first 4 seasons, tied with Russell Wilson and the second most in the AFL-NFL merger era since 1970. His passer rating, blah, 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 blah. Here's the thing about quarterbacks. I understand all of those things matter, but you know what else matters? And do you know what people fundamentally blame quarterbacks for when it happens is what happens in the postseason. And Dak Prescott's postseason record as a starting quarterback is poor. It's really poor.
2-5.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So if you have a situation where you have a starting quarterback who has that record attached to him, fair or not, by the way, because I will make the argument for I'm very lenient with quarterback records. I don't think it's a quarterback stat. I don't think it takes a quarterback to win a Super Bowl, and I don't think it takes a quarterback to lose a playoff game. It takes a whole team. But Dak's performances have been shaky in the postseason in the recent past, and that's what people are gauging this off of. And it's a fair debate to make.
He's never been past the divisional round. He's never been past the divisional round.
And the Cowboys teams have been good enough to get past.
Yes. That's yes.
Is Tom Brady the best athlete on the field at any time in his playing career?
Never.
No.
Not
Okay.
even like 10th best.
Does Tom Brady have the best arm you've ever seen in the NFL?
Nope.
Is Tom Brady the fastest quarterback?
No.
Is Tom Brady a good rusher at all?
No.
Okay. Is Tom
Looks
Brady
like a baby giraffe.
is Tom Brady even the most accurate quarterback you've ever seen? I'm talking all time. The most accurate?
Maybe short distances, maybe.
Maybe.
Like
But
within 5 yards.
Drew Brees? I'm taking Drew
Yeah,
Brees.
yeah, probably.
Right.
Okay, so my point being, Tom Brady, what he was really good at was winning.
Mhm.
The reason why Tom Brady's the greatest of all time, the reason why we regard him the GOAT and he stands heads and shoulders above all other quarterbacks is because he was clutch and he performed under pressure. And in the postseason, he won and won and won and won. Unfortunately, even though I feel one way about wins and losses not being a QB stat, I also live in a world where I simultaneously laud the greatest quarterback of all time for exactly that, for performing under pressure and lifting his teams in the postseason. Dak doesn't do that for the Cowboys.
Not even close. Not even close. And in fact, it's opposite. I mean, there are so many times where Dak is the reason why they lose. He throws a dumb pass, he throws a pick, he fumbles, whatever it is, makes a poor decision, but he's still going to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL because there's no one left to go get for the Cowboys. Yeah.
It's a mistake.
By the way, I was at the grocery store yesterday, and as I'm shopping around, I hear over the speaker, "Hi, this is Joe Montana. You should go buy Jolly Green Giant frozen spinach." And I'm like,
I'm the GOAT, not Tim Brody.
well, just as you're talking about Tom Brady, that's what I thought of. But I thought, how much could they be paying him that he was like, yeah, I'll take that?
Probably a lot.
You think?
Probably.
10 grand.
Yo, like peas?
Yeah.
So do I.
Right.
Find them on aisle 16. It's like, wait a second. Did he cut one for each individual bonds?
I think I saw a number for his Guinness sponsorship last year. Because what was the college football game that got played over in Ireland last year?
Notre Dame, maybe.
Someone.
Yeah.
And Joe Montana was a big part of the coverage for that. And they made sure the camera found him a lot on the sidelines and everything. And there was some number about how much Guinness paid him to go out there.
Yeah.
And it was astonishing.
Well, I'll tell you right now, those sort of things like the influencer contracts that, like, especially in Ireland, they're probably still working through like the 90s era of the NFL. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
So Joe Montana is their GOAT.
yeah, exactly. Right. Now, they haven't even met Tom Brady yet.
4 Super Bowls? The catch?
Unbelievable.
Skechers paid him $50 million. Wow.
What about like Brett Favre with Coppertone? That's also an absurd contract. And how many people own Coppertones?
Well, I mean, I know Brett Favre does. I do know that Brett Favre does. He does. He definitely does.
TD, are you looking for where we
Wait
can
a
put
second.
Coppertone
Oh, no, what?
sponsor?
No,
No,
That is,
he owns Coppertone.
I own Coppertone.
I knew it.
Are you wearing them right now?
No.
No.
They're a little uncomfortable. But I did buy some Coppertone socks.
They're like only on sale at Walmart, right?
Actually, I got them. They were on sale at Costco when I bought them.
They had Favre all over the package.
They were all over it.
We have a 4-pack of tickets to see the All Blacks taking on the Flying Fijians July 19th. That's coming up on the show. We have a pair of tickets to see NF at Viejas Arena. That's a June 6th show. We're going to be telling you how to win those tickets, so stay tuned. But first, the Prince speaks. We'll get to that next.
This update is presented by the California Department of Forestry. We'll begin with the Padres. They've now won 3 straight games. They beat the Marlins 4-0 last night behind Matt Waldron's best pitching performance of his career. Early home run from Jurickson Profar, a record-setting performance from reliever Jeremiah Estrada, who now holds the Major League Baseball expansion era record for consecutive strikeouts with his 13th in a row last night. Western Conference Finals, the T-Wolves get a win to extend the series against the Mavericks. Mavs have a 3-1 series lead. It goes back to Minnesota tomorrow night for Game 5. Wildfires don't wait, neither should you. Protect your home and property now. Start preparing by creating defensible space and hardening your home. Learn more from CAL FIRE on what it means to be ready at readyforwildfire.org.
Big Rich Eating Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. A 4-pack of tickets to see the All Blacks taking on the Flying Fijians. With a whole bunch of copy points that Rich has, because they're still not in here.
Yep, no, yeah. And you know what? Fletch, he refuses to look them up, and I refuse to write them down.
Yes.
So until he does that, we're at deadlock.
Where can you buy tickets?
You can buy tickets at Ticketmaster.com. The only reason why I know that is because for a full week, they had me read this at July 19th. All Blacks, Flying Fijians, Snapdragon Stadium. Get your tickets now. Ticketmaster.com.
2 of the best rugby sides in the world.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Fast, physical, smart, delicate.
Now, is sides what they call teams in rugby?
Definitely wasn't an adjective they used. But anyways,
I'm going to put delicate in the copy.
Is sides what they call teams in rugby?
Yeah, that's what it seems like. I never looked it up. Actually, I'll look it up.
I am curious about it. Like, I kind of want to go to this because it seems like it's going to be pretty badass.
Are teams called sides?
And there's a rugby group in San Diego that they all meet at the Ballast Point up in Miramar and watch games at like odd times because they play overseas a lot of the time. And it is a group, and they have a party.
I just wrote this down as we were putting copy points in here.
Yeah.
And we usually say go to Ticketmaster.com for information or to buy tickets or whatever. Right?
Yeah.
I wrote this, and I don't know if we want to send this to Ticketmaster, but check us out. Ticketmaster.com for deets and seats.
Deets and seats. Wow.
You're going to make me take a laugh?
No, come on.
Come on.
That's such a time saver. Instead of details and tickets, deets and seats.
You saved 2 syllables.
Or whatever. Here's a little fog hat.
So anyways, those are coming up on the show a little bit later, so don't go anywhere.
So Bronny James, the prince, right? Because King James has reigned over the NBA for 20 years. His son now is expected to be drafted by an NBA team. We don't know which one, but expected to because of who his daddy is. Now, this is not ballyhooed enough, in my opinion.
So creepy when you say it like that.
Oh, yeah.
Who his daddy is?
Daddy is.
Daddy's getting him a job. This is the same thing as when, Uncle Buck owns the printer company, and all of a sudden the cousin who, really, like, he went to Yale, but I mean,
he doesn't even like printers.
But when he came back to all the family reunions, like, he was disappearing and then showing up like real sleepy to the Thanksgiving dinners and like, so like a little bit of a screw up, but you know what? He graduated Yale. And that's something. He has a degree, and now he is going to be next in line to run the printer company and the family's fortune.
And currently, they've made him CFO.
That's right.
He's currently CFO, but he's in line to be CEO.
Did you guys go to like one of those summer camps when you were in 3rd or 4th, 5th grade?
Never went to summer camp. I went to like sports camps.
I did.
I went to 0 camps.
Well, one of them was like school ran, but whatever. That's not important. What's important is they teach you a song when you're at these summer camps. That scat makes the world go round.
That's right. Yeah.
Scat makes the world go round.
Would they really teach you the song?
Yeah, because poop is with everything, right? But no,
do you have to do anything with scat?
Scat does not make the world go around. You know what makes the world go around?
Poop.
Nepotism. Boom. Drew it all the way back.
You really you sometimes take the Magellan route, but I appreciate the way your brain works.
Why does scat make the world go round?
I don't know. It was just a song we had to learn in summer camp. There was a moral to the story.
Well, life is a little bit about who you know, right? I mean, there's so many times an opportunity, a door is open for you, and if you're not talented enough innately, or if you don't have enough experience or practice at something, the opportunity will pass you by, because your luck is usually gauged by how hard of a worker you are or how naturally talented you are, plus the opportunities you're given. People who know people are given more opportunities. That's just how the world works. It's always worked that way. And in the case of Bronny Jr., he knows a lot of really important people. And guess what? More importantly, his dad knows a lot of really important people. So it looks here like Bronny Jr. has been instructed to turn down any private workouts from any other teams other than the Suns, who are in serious contention to potentially sign LeBron James, and the Lakers. So those are the only two teams that he'll accept private workouts from.
He's just calling his shots here. Wait, the Suns?
Okay, so let me explain. So the Suns potentially could sign LeBron James, draft Bronny, have LeBron and KD. I don't think in that case they would be able to keep Booker, or maybe KD would leave, but they would lose one of their superstars. You can't have Beal,
I would lose
Booker,
KD.
and LeBron on the same team.
KD and LeBron on the same team would be sick.
You need to trade away someone.
Yeah.
And actually, oddly enough, Bradley Beal has a no trade clause. KD doesn't. So you could trade away Kevin
KD
Durant.
wants to be traded like every other year.
He doesn't this year, though. He doesn't.
No,
This year.
right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
This year,
All of a sudden, things look good.
Yeah, his exit press conference. He was like, "Can't wait to be back next year."
So Jonas said something this morning, Jonas Knox, that Bronny James is like generously being put as the 52nd best player coming out in this year's draft. That's being very generous about what he is. But
Are
I don't
there
think
only
it
53
matters.
players in the draft?
It's 60, I think, but it doesn't matter. Like nothing about Bronny James as a basketball player actually matters, which I think would be kind of frustrating if like you're a Jaden Ledee who worked your ass off to get to this point, and you see everything about Bronny James being the one who's going to be drafted. Jaden Ledee might not, and he may be the 61st person. You know what I mean?
Bronny James comes with a built-in brand.
Yes.
I mean, it is a built-in brand. So he is a money maker as soon as he's on your team.
Listen, what Bronny James comes with is LeBron. So that's it. That's the end of this discussion. I'm sorry if anybody is offended by this, but Bronny James is not being drafted because he's the 52nd best team, which is ridiculous. Bronny James is just a guy, and that's fine. I'm not even saying
guy.
Yeah, but I'm not even saying that like to diminish him as a college basketball player. I hate doing this because it's not fair to Bronny Jr. What's happening to him is because his dad wants to play with his son, and so he is going to be exposed to unwarranted criticism because his dad wants to foist his power to get his way, and his will is to play with his son at the NBA level. And good for LeBron James that he's exerting his power and control over the situation to get what he wants. However, I don't know if this is going to be a good thing for Bronny James. This could be detrimental for him, that his dad is doing everything in his power to get him into the league. And then really, honestly, it's kind of like sink or swim after I retire, kid, because they could do whatever they want with Bronny James after that.
Scat makes the world go round. The forest can't survive without it on the ground. So next time you step in a pile of scat, raise your hand high and say, that's where it's at. It starts with an S and ends with a T. It comes out of you and it comes out of me. I know what you're thinking, but don't call it that. Just be scientific and call it scat.
I looked at
That's
lyrics.
the song. That's it. That's the one.
Wow, that's what they taught you in camp?
They have a lot of time at campgrounds.
I guess so.
They have a lot of kids.
Wow, I mean, okay.
This
cool.
is
Not a bad song. I'll say right now.
what they call this is indoctrination. They also taught him about Maoism. No. Listen, this is what it kind of is scat. It's just a load of scat, and everybody's got to eat it and pretend it tastes good because it's LeBron James we're talking about here. But this is exactly what Fletch said. It's what makes the world go around. It happens in every field, in every business, just like at the printer company with your cousin getting the gig that he shouldn't have. It's happening in the NBA with LeBron James and Bronny Jr. So if you hate it, I'm sorry. It's the way this works sometimes.
Yeah. And I mean, is there any chance that Bronny James gets to the NBA and then figures it out? I mean, all of a sudden he's good.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah. I mean, listen,
I'm gonna say
Fletcher's
no.
face.
Look, dude, it's just unfortunate. Like LeBron James, for everything that makes him a great player, like his skill set, his ability to shoot, his ability
He's
to pass,
never going to be LeBron James.
his brain, like Bronny James just comes with the automatic disadvantage of being 6'1".
Well, how about this though? He could be a 3-and-D guy. Like if he becomes a sharpshooter from 3-point land, like you could make an argument. You could squint and see a future. It's not going to be
the
a
dude
super
who's
bright
averaging
future.
5 points a game at
No,
USC.
I know,
like,
dude.
I don't want to be negative either. Like I feel bad for Bronny in this situation too. And we haven't heard from Bronny. It's not like he's out there talking on a campaign trail to get drafted. Like I honestly
he's just saying this is where the only places that I'm going to go work out.
No, he's not even saying that. That's what people are saying in his camp. It's confusing that Bronny James, who I don't look, let's be honest, he might not even like basketball that much. He might just be saying, "Hey, my dad is making me do
wants
this."
To sell printers.
He just because the people need to print things. Damn it!
Guys, listen, Canon, Xerox, Ricoh. It doesn't matter. I
You
love
should
them
go
all.
be a camp
MFPs.
counselor. I got a great song for him.
Natasha, close that door to my office. I'm gonna be busy in here. I hate my dad. Anyways, listen, who knows? Maybe it's that. Maybe he loves the sport. Maybe it's something that they bonded over for years, and this is going to be a rough start because of the way he gets into the league. But he's in that 1% that figures it out, finds his role, finds his lane in the NBA, and can have a decent career extended beyond when his dad retires. I would say that's highly unlikely, but
What if
maybe.
LeBron just laid out the scenario? Hey, you come play 1 year in the NBA, you're going to make $40 million because of all these endorsements we're about to rack up. Then you go off into the sunset.
Yeah, I mean that too.
God, I would do that so fast.
Same.
Please, God, please. Just,
wood.
Yeah.
Speaking of wood, Travis
dad.
Dale, ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Hard as a plate
Thank you.
these days.
Wow.
I mean, your abs.
Thank you.
Wow. Yes.
Did you just say his ass? Is
Abs.
No, not my
abs.
abs, my ass though. Yeah, I mean, incredible.
And your
If you want to
biceps.
check
Have
it
we-
out,
Have we talked to you?
No,
lately?
no.
Your
Yeah.
biceps.
You're so vascular.
Yeah. You know, I was just looking up some of these fad diets that are sweeping the nation right now.
Dumb.
No, yeah, dumb. Actually, one of the most popular fad diets, one of these injection prescription medication diets, they're saying that there's now side effects being shown of risky sex and gambling because it gives you impulse control disorder.
You see, that's not good.
Not good.
Uh-uh.
Not good. You know, wait, no, Fletch,
No.
absolutely not. Mm-mm. Listen, you won't have impulse control disorder if you go to stfatloss.com. You won't do it. You're going to go there. You're going to talk to Wayne and Chloe. They're going to walk you through the best way, the healthy way to lose weight and to lose weight very, very quickly. And I'm talking about 20 to 30 pounds in 8 weeks' time. But here's the kicker. Like these fad diets, you're going to have side effects. And then whenever you stop the diet, even though you've lost weight, you're going to gain the weight back. And that's not what SD Fat Loss is about.
Nope.
No. They want you to keep that weight off because that's what we've done. I lost 31 pounds, Rich 35, Fletch pushing 50 pounds lost, and then we've kept the weight off thanks to SDFatLoss.com. And here's the other beautiful thing. If you're thinking, yeah, I don't know. I mean, is now the time to get started? I've been putting off a diet. Well, you got summer right around the corner, and I know that you want to look hot, smoking hot out at the beach. And SD Fat Loss is going to help you. And they're going to help you by saving $200 if you mention Big Rich TD and Fletch. So go there right now. You're not going to have to exercise or count points or calories or eat something you don't want to eat. You're going to eat food you like, and it's going to be healthy, and it's going to change your life, and you're going to feel 1,000,000 times better. I promise you that. Go there right now, sdfatloss.com. It's sdfatloss.com.
Keep up with San Diego Sports 760 anytime, anywhere, whether you're stepping out of the car or settling in at home. Just ask your Google or Alexa smart speaker to play AM 760 or stream it live through the iHeartRadio app. It's never been easier to stay connected with your favorite shows like this one, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. San Diego Sports 760 goes where you go, and use that talkback mic while you're at it.
Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you. 4-pack of tickets to rugby in San Diego. All Blacks versus the Flying Fijians in July. And then also NF tickets at Viejas. That's a June show. You're going to find out how to win those tickets in just about 15 minutes, so hang in there. Caitlin Clark, another loser for the Indiana Fever. They lost to the only other one-win team remaining in the WNBA, the Los Angeles Sparks, last night. But in the loss, she had her best night as a pro, 30 points, couple bounds, couple blocks, couple steals. I mean, she looked like she looked when she was an Iowa Hawkeye. Now, again, she's playing against one of the other worst teams in the NBA right now, or the WNBA. So there's that. You have to put that into context. But having said that, this is what the WNBA was hoping for when she got to the league. I'm sure they hoped that the Indiana Fever would have had a better season to start with, that she would have had a better season to start with, but at least she's trending individually in the right direction. One thing I can say for certain is this league has gotten more publicity than ever before in its history, ever before in my life. I've never heard more people talking about the WNBA than they have this season.
I completely agree. And I haven't seen any bump in amount of commercial costs. I haven't seen that story yet, so I haven't looked it up, but I'm waiting to see, like, oh, the WNBA is now bringing in 200% more than last year in ad dollars. So I don't know how much that is affecting the pay coming in, but man, there's a lot more eyeballs on it. We can guarantee that. Does it affect Caitlin Clark's legacy at all if the team does terrible, but she scores 30 points a game?
Does it? Yeah. Well, here's the thing. If she remains relevant as a superstar, then the answer is yes. If she ends up getting to she is in the WNBA, but if she ends up, I don't know, stinking at some point or getting hurt and sort of fading away as in terms of like an effective player, then yeah, this is going to be disastrous for the WNBA, because right now the goose that they've seen in ratings and tickets, I mean, she's sold out venues now. It's a traveling road show with the Indiana Fever because people want to see her firsts as she makes her way into the WNBA. Now, there's a lot of players around this league who are complaining about Caitlin Clark, the attention in the press she's getting because she's straight and she's white. That has been a huge storyline. And there's been a lot of blowback because, there's been other stars in the WNBA who haven't, cut through quite as well as Caitlin Clark. And, now you're hearing from some of those past and present. So I don't know if overall this is going to be good for everybody in terms of how they feel about this story, but it's definitely good for the league.
So she's already been anointed as like the savior of the league, right? And it's not going well so far in terms of wins and losses, but everything else is going well for the WNBA. And Charles Barkley did a big rant about this the other night. Well, as big of a rant as Charles Barkley can do, which is a few sentences. But I thought his point was good. He's like, everybody in the WNBA who's complaining about her should be thanking her because of all the opportunity that she's brought to the league. I will say the next step for Caitlin Clark, if she wants to actually become mega relevant more than she already is and really bring the whole league up, is if the Team USA women's basketball team has her on it and they have success, because you look at what that did for women's soccer in the United States when Alex Morgan and Megan Rapinoe and that group won the World Cup back to back, and they were kind of what took over the world every 4 years. That has made the NWSL extremely popular in markets like this one, where the Wave have every record at Snapdragon Stadium for selling it out for sporting events. And you look around the country, and I think that the NWSL in a lot of markets performs better than the men's soccer league, the MLS. So I think that if the women's basketball can make some real big noise on the national stage, on the international stage, and Caitlin Clark is a leading member of that, when she comes back home, it could actually drag the WNBA up higher.
WNBA projected to bring in $180 to $200 million. This is from a Forbes article that came out 6 days ago. Between $180 and $200 million to pull in this year. In 2019, I pulled in about $102 million. I tried to look up 2023 revenue. It says $200 million. So there would be no bump.
No. And here's the reality. They're also spending more money than they ever have on how these athletes travel. So they're spending tens of millions of dollars on private charter flights. So as a result of that, they are going to eat away at their revenue. That's just how it works. Look, if you're going to spend and you're not going to bring in as much money as you spend, you're going to lose. And the WNBA has lost money every single year it's existed. And that's just, it's been subsidized by the NBA. Now, can that change? Absolutely. We see paradigms shift. And sometimes it takes a sole influencer for a paradigm to shift. Like it can take Caitlin Clark. It could take players after hers. It could take the fact that, look, we spent over the course of my time working at San Diego Sports 760 or Extra 1360 before that, I have spent next to zero time talking about the WNBA
before Caitlin Clark.
Clark.
Right.
Now we've spoken about it probably, I would say, an average of once a week since she's been drafted.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now
and then before that as well.
Yeah. Well, right.
Yeah.
Even though we're only committing, say, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, 15 minutes, whatever it is, it's more time. I mean, it's exponential growth in the amount of time that we're giving to this storyline.
Yeah, and this NBC News article does say that it's been flat year to year. It's projected to be flat from last year to this year. However, I know that they're selling way more tickets to these games. I mean, so many more that they're having to change venues because they need more seats. So there's that.
Coming up next, we're going to have those ways for you to win the Flying Fijians All Blacks tickets at Snapdragon Stadium, also NF tickets at Viejas, so be listening for that. Also, is it a death march or a march to history? We'll get into that story. And where's Jamar? Just where the heck is he? We'll get to that next.
This update is presented by Discover. We'll start with the Padres. They've now won 3 straight games after they beat the Marlins 4-0 last night behind Matt Waldron's best pitching performance of his season. An early home run from Jurickson Profar in the first inning and a record-setting performance from reliever Jeremiah Estrada, 25 years old. He now holds the MLB expansion era record for consecutive strikeouts. He has 13 Ks in a row. Western Conference Finals. Timberwolves get a win to extend the series against the Mavericks. Mavs have a 3-1 series lead. It goes back to Minnesota tomorrow night for Game 5. As humans, we like having option. One option you might like is speaking with a real person when you call about your credit card with 24/7 live U.S.-based customer service from Discover. Everyone can talk to a real person at any time, day or night. Limitations do apply. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Welcome to the Wednesday edition, and happy Wednesday to those who celebrate. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you. San Diego Sports 760. Happy hump day to all of you. We are rocking and rolling, flying high off of a Padres victory that really kind of felt, I don't know, it kind of felt like I was expecting the exact opposite. I sort of felt like, okay, we had 2 straight games of positive storylines, so of course they're going to ruin this. Like, they're going to go out here tonight and they have an opportunity to win the series and they're going to just screw it up somehow. But they didn't. Matt Waldron looked great. Jeremiah Estrada is
the greatest 25-year-old pitcher of all time.
I mean,
wow.
Born in Palm Springs,
here.
13 straight strikeouts. Like, let's talk about how ridiculous this can get.
Unbelievable.
Imagine he gets up to 20 consecutive strikeouts.
Well, I mean, then you have to start saying that's all time, even if you don't have
it
the
might
stats
already
on
be
it.
all time.
We
don't know.
We don't know.
And it's top since they've started taking track of those type of
And
things.
he's the GOAT?
25-year-old reliever pitcher.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if he's a guy, but he's really, really good, and it's been a lot of fun. And so we'll get into that story a little bit here, especially in morning monologues. I know my monologue's about the Padres. I know Fletch's is.
You know, I might change mine because Kendall started doing something kind of gross.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
So I might bash my wife on live radio.
Well, that's
Wow.
good. Is she
Yeah.
listening?
Well, hopefully,
Smart choice.
She needs to know.
You know
because for years she's given me crap about the exact thing she started doing.
Okay, smart choice. I
I
completely support
Yeah.
this.
I don't know. This is scary.
No.
I make one mention of Nelly Furtado, joking about Nelly Furtado, and then I get home and Sarah's like, "Oh, Nelly Furtado fan."
You know what? Anna has such an interesting, like, so Annie knows me so well. Okay, hang on a second. Let me rewind.
Has Annie listened to a second of our program?
She doesn't listen to our program. She's routinely embarrassed by the things I do on social media.
Good.
You did show your wiener to the whole world.
You did, yeah.
Did do that.
Yeah. Which, thank you. We got some likes.
That's right. Big Rich TD Fletch.
Didn't see where it started, but we saw where it ended.
Yeah, there's no question about that. There is no question about that. More supportive underwear is the name of the game.
Maybe thicker.
But we were having a conversation last night, and I said something to Ann, and she was like, "Well, you probably have a bunch of kids running around." And I was like, "What?" And then,
Good Lord.
and then she goes, "Yeah." She was like, "Yeah." And then she turned around and walked out of the
That
room.
was it?
And I was like, well, it was a part of a longer conversation. I don't want to divulge what we were talking about prior to that. And then I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, what does my wife think of me? She really, honestly, this is the way I really do feel like she knows she married a barbarian, and she knows that everything that's happened prior to us meeting, well, that's for the gods to sort out. Like, she only could do what she could do.
She's just expecting one day, like on a vacation, she's going to walk into a Starbucks and there's going to be a little mini Rich Ornberger there. She'll be like, I knew it.
I think at some point, like in the very near future, she's just fully expecting to meet a teenager who says, so your husband's my dad.
What if you get somebody at one point that comes and knocks on the door? You're the only one home. Okay,
Yeah.
I want, like, seriously play this situation out. Somebody knocks on the door. You're home by yourself. Annie and the kids are up in LA with her folks, and you get a knock on the door, and you open it up, and he says, "Dad," and you just look at him. What's your next step?
Well, I mean,
Wrong house.
yeah. I feel like, where's your parents? Yeah. Like, where? I mean, now,
No, he's 20 something. Like,
Yeah,
he figures it out. Like, he does the 23andMe, figures out, oh, his dad was a former NFL player.
oh, dude, 100%. He's gonna be welcome into the Wolf Pack.
Really?
Oh, 100%. Yes.
Does it depend on who the mom is?
No, don't care. Don't care. I mean, I'm a loving human being. Like, you know, I mean, it would actually be kind of cool.
What?
All of a sudden, like, you're like, wow.
Well, I feel like now's the time. Travis,
What?
Dad.
Wait, I'm your father?
You are.
Not you, him.
Wait, he's my dad?
He's my dad.
You?
Oh,
Travis?
That's the only way the age makes sense on this show.
wait a minute.
Yeah, I was gonna say I am confused.
Did I have relations with Mama Fletcher?
Wait, no. Pause. Rewind.
Where-
That's not where I wanted this to go.
What it means. That's exactly what it means.
Wow, unbelievable.
You banged Angela?
Stop.
Yeah.
Don't use that word.
Well, I don't
God,
know.
at least
I
made
said-
love.
Okay, yes. You made sweet,
It, was,
sweet love.
it wasn't
to
love.
Angela.
It was only one time.
God, why do I open my mouth?
Anyways,
So the
I miss
Timberwolves.
you.
The Timberwolves. This went on such a
Yeah.
strange direction. I
Yeah.
forget how we got there too. But
Something you said to Annie. She said you have a bunch of kids running around.
yeah,
All of a
it's-
sudden, you're
Yeah,
someone's dad.
Ronnie James,
That was a-
Angela Fletcher.
I was a wild boy back in
Yeah.
the day, boys. I was a wild boy. But yeah, the Timberwolves, they are facing elimination, but also facing history. I mean, is it possible for a team who's trailing 3-0 in a conference final to come all the way back and win?
Has it actually ever happened in the conference finals?
Never happened.
Didn't LeBron James' team do it once?
3-1 deficit to the Golden State Warriors, and that
And
was in the finals. And by the way, yeah, I mean, coming back 3-1 is ridiculous. Coming back 3-0, I mean, you got no juice. So they went on the road. The series comes home to Minnesota. They're favored by close to 5 points right now. So you look at the Timberwolves and you say, okay, what happens if the series is 3-2? I mean, say they got to 3-2 in a different route, a more, you know, I guess more like trading wins with the Mavericks. Would you feel different about it? I know I would. Like, it's possible if they get this win tomorrow night against the Mavs at home, this series all of a sudden gets way more interesting.
And what's silly is if the team that played last night for the Timberwolves played in the first 3 games, we're talking about a different series entirely. Like, it feels like Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards just sort of woke up last night and started playing cohesive team basketball. I think the two of them combined for 54-something points. Like, that's impressive. But a deeper stat on the 3-0 deficit, 156 times it's happened. An NBA team fell to a 3-0 deficit. Only 4 of those teams, which is less than 3%, actually forced a Game 7, which they ultimately lost. The Knicks became the first team to force a Game 7 after trailing 3-0 in a series.
It is
4 out of
big-
156
it's a
have even
big-
gotten to a
So
Game 7.
it's never even happened in the postseason overall. Is that what you're saying?
That's what this says.
So no team has ever come back
Wikipedia.
from 3-0 ever.
Yeah.
Not just in the conference finals, ever.
And only 4 of them have forced an actual Game 7. 4 out of 156.
That's crazy. I mean, that's a crazy stat. It is a tough road to hoe here. Obviously, I mean, it's been insurmountable so far. But you're right. I mean, one win, all of a sudden you're thinking, like, could it happen this time?
Because one turns into 2 really quick. If the Mavs have, look, Kyrie's been sensational, but say he has an off night, you know, or say Luka, they figure him out in this series. They really haven't been able to, or he has an off shooting night. Anything can happen where all of a sudden it's 3-2. Like I said, the way I feel about 3-2, if they get there through a more normal route instead of this this is quite circuitous. Like you win 2 in a row after losing 3 straight. I mean, that doesn't seem like it makes much sense, but 2 straight can turn into 3. You can win 4 in a row. It's never happened before, but you can do it. And it certainly becomes more of a reality, especially when you think about this series returning to Minnesota.
Well, and if they win the second one, the issue is you're only halfway there. I mean, you still got another 50% more to go. And, you know, you have to duplicate the performance of winning 2 in a row. It's tough.
And 50% of the remaining 50% would be on the road.
That is correct. Yeah. So numbers, #math, #stand on business.
All right, so I have a very Padres morning monologue, and it was based off of what we saw last night. This season, I think the sum total of this season so far for me is they zigged where everybody thought they were going to zag. So my expectation for this season with the Padres was what we saw last year wasn't going to be replicated. You were going to see something completely different. And we kind of have, but I thought it was going to look completely different. I thought it was going to be Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis Jr., Xander Bogaerts. I thought it was going to be the stars of this team, this roster overall, who are going to shine the brightest and bring the Padres to more relevance, a more stable season this year. That has not been the case. Those bats have been quiet, specifically Tatis and Machado. Xander Bogaerts, he's not even on the team right now. He's recovering from that injury. So you look at this team and you say, well, how have they gotten to a point where at this point in the season they're 2 games above 500? It's all the names you don't know. It's all the helping hands around this roster, the role players who've really stepped up and saved the day for the Padres. So we are exactly where I thought we would be, but I thought it would be with a little more help from our friends. I don't know if that bodes well or not, because the silver lining to that statement is Fernando Tatis Jr. and Machado's bats could turn around at any moment, and then this thing could go nuclear, and maybe they're 10 games over 500 before the All-Star break. Maybe just after the All-Star break, we're looking at this, Jekyll and Hyde team as a distant afterthought, a footnote on the season as they're roaring toward the end of the year now or through the summer months. But this is exactly how I thought this season was going to go. And the way we've gotten here is so different than the way I forecast.
30-28 sounds right.
Yeah.
But how they got to 30-28, it's bizarre.
It's blowing my mind.
Now, it does feel like we're all sort of holding our breath, waiting for the other shoe to drop with Jerks and Profar, who's been a lion's share of the offense so far this season, and Solano, who's been a stud when he's come in, especially since Bogaerts left. But how long can you just rely on those guys?
Well, yeah, because if Profar or Solano goes cold, it's over. It's over.
Like, the guys you can rely on are Arise, Machado, Tatis. Yeah. You're supposed to, right?
Supposed to, yeah.
And so if they can start heating up, then it's okay if Jerks and Profar takes a step back and he's still a really good role player, which is what he has been as a Padre his entire time as a Padre.
Right.
That's what they need.
Yeah.
You want to go? You want me to go?
Oh, I can go. I can go. Yeah, because mine... Not really Padres related. When you're at a restaurant, okay, you're ordering breakfast, you get pancakes, you get waffles.
Yeah.
This is more of a question, I guess, than a monologue. Why is it that whipped butter at the restaurant is so far superior
I thought he was about
than
to say
butter
so effing
at
good.
home? It is so effing good. I agree. You'd almost eat it with a spoon.
I'll tell you why.
But
I know the answer to this question.
You already have the answer?
I know the answer to this question.
Bring it.
And I started doing it at home as soon as I discovered it.
You can do it at home?
Yeah. So the reason why things taste better at restaurants overall is because A, they use more butter cooking them in the first place than you would ever use at home. That's one thing.
Okay.
The other thing is everything in a restaurant is saltier than you would have at home. So the whipped butter, many times it's saltier than the butter that you're getting from the store. So if you just simply sprinkle a little extra salt on top of your butter at home, all of a sudden it brightens all the food that you're eating and it makes the pancakes sing. Travis.
How do you get the texture?
God.
The texture that they have at restaurants is different.
Now, the texture of the pancake or the texture of the butter?
Of the butter. It's almost like they put the butter in a whipped cream canister and spray it out.
Well, okay, so I've worked in a restaurant where we took whipped butter, you put it in one of the piping bags, and then we would squeeze it into little dishes.
Yeah.
But the whipped butter came from a container. We weren't whipping the butter.
Yeah.
So where's the whipped butter come from?
How do you make whipped butter?
That's a great point.
Somebody on the text line, let us know. Talkback feature too.
Put it in a whipping machine?
Yeah, you whip the hell out of it.
But just really regular butter?
Yeah, so okay, if you take butter or you take milk and you beat the crap out of it for long enough, it becomes butter. Well, if you take them butter and you whip it almost like you would like whipping cream, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like heavy cream.
Yeah.
Eventually it'll aerate enough that it becomes that.
But you need to keep it cold. See, there's problems here.
But okay.
Well, after you whip it.
Well,
but what if it disintegrates so much to where it's kind of a globby mess?
See, that's the thing.
And that's what I think would happen at home.
So that's what you do. So when you're making whipped cream, the correct way to make this is going to sound crazy that I know this, but the correct way to make whipped cream is
you got to put alcohol in it.
Well, you can add a little.
My mom accidentally got me drunk when I was like 10 years old because she put rum in the whipped cream. and I went ham on it.
Rum instead of vanilla extract?
I think so, yeah. We didn't have any vanilla extract.
So you take a big bowl of ice and you pour a little water in it. And then you take and you can actually add a little salt to that so it goes lower than freezing point. And then you take another bowl, like a metal bowl, and you put it inside the big bowl with ice. Then you pour in heavy cream, you whip it up, you turn it into whipped cream. It stays cold.
Man, oh
So
man.
you do the same thing with butter. You make whipped butter.
Sounds like hollandaise sauce.
I'm just saying, like when you have a waffle, it's got the little squares.
Yeah.
When you're spreading the butter at home, it's you keep butter in the squares.
Okay.
It doesn't melt like the whipped butter does at the restaurant.
I'm going to change your lives. Start doing this. Anybody who's a muffin fan out there?
Love
Yeah.
muffins.
Okay, I do too. Toasted muffin with that little pat of butter melting over the top of it. It's unbelievable. Nothing like it. What you need to start doing is put that little pat of butter on it, like that little button of butter, and then just sprinkle a little salt on top of that. I'm telling you,
Oh, wow.
that takes your blueberry muffin from standard blueberry muffin to, oh my God, this is a life-changing experience.
Check out this life-changing experience at Costco over the weekend. Picked up a package of manicotti muffins, which I didn't know what that was. And then some lady was like, it means butter. I'm like, oh yeah, of course, butter.
But
So
muffins,
they
hell
were,
yeah, dude.
they were just like yellow muffins. Brought one home. I ate it. I thought, kind of tastes like yellow cake. I mean, it's close.
Yeah.
It's not exactly, but it's close. So I opened up a can of chocolate frosting, smeared it right on top.
None of the
It's like a little mini cake.
All right, morning
broke the
monologue.
System, Kirkland.
Thank you for all that, TD.
My
Now I'm
pants are
starting.
getting tight. What?
So I'll go Padres first because it's going to be really quick. Actually, do I even remember what my Padres monologue was? Hang on.
No,
It'll come to me.
I thought you were talking about Kendall.
I
You said
am,
you were
but
gonna talk about
no, I had a Padres play.
Oh,
Okay,
I'm
here we go. Here we go.
Okay.
Let's. This would be the time, right, where you start to get really excited and high on the Padres because they just won 3 games in a row. They got a record-breaking performance from a 25-year-old who was born in Southern California. I think it was Palm Springs. Like, this is the
Could
time
kill
you would
that.
get really excited
Yeah.
about the Padres. I refuse to do so because every time we've gotten really excited about the Padres, what follows? They lose 3 games in a row to the freaking Rockies.
Okay.
So I refuse to get excited. The Kendall thing, this is where it gets juicy.
Okay. Here we go.
For years, and I mean, this goes back to college, she's complained about my snoring.
Okay.
And I'll be honest, she's taking video of it. It is alarming how bad my snoring got over the years. But
sleep
there was a
apnea.
time, especially Mexico last year, circa 2023, where I was really, really fat and my snoring was at an all-time high, 278 pounds. I lost a bunch of weight.
Mhm.
I don't snore anymore. If I do, it's only after like a night of heavy drinking
Oh,
or
boy,
something.
You are heading down a very bad path. But
Guess
continue.
who started snoring?
You better say Brock.
Kendall. This chick over the last 4 nights has started snoring, and it's like a freaking freight train has come through the house. And it is shaking. Like she started to sound like her dad, who snores a lot.
For sure you want to keep going
I'm sure. Because I told this all to her face, and I told her I was going to say it on the radio, and she said, well, you can.
You know, in an ipso facto way, you've kind of called Kendall fat
No.
because you're like, I was at my fattest. I was snoring the loudest. Anyways, Kendall started snoring.
Rich said that, not me. Kendall's very skinny. She's
Wait.
tiny.
I know, but
hold on though.
I'm just tying the words you put together.
Is she putting on weight?
No.
Way.
Kendall is not pregnant.
Are we
Hang on.
sure?
But Kendall has started snoring, and it's kind of come out of nowhere. And I feel like I'm just
during
like
pregnancy.
I'm losing
Yeah, good thing
sleep,
to
so
look
I'm a
up.
little grumpier. But also, I'm so happy that I
There it is.
finally get to
Hold
like
on.
throw this back in her face.
Snoring is not uncommon during pregnancy.
She's not pregnant.
and
know
it
it.
becomes more likely with each trimester.
Congratulations.
Common causes of snoring during pregnancy include weight gain, hormone change, and increased blood flow. Hello.
Hey now.
Yeah, she's
listen.
not pregnant, so that goes out the window.
So you're
She's
like
snoring
8
because
and a
she's
half.
like been congested for the last 2 weeks. But I do find it very funny that now every time I bring it up, like she's not even sorry. I was so apologetic over all those years that I was snoring.
Well, anyways,
Yeah,
congratulations.
congratulations.
We're not pregnant.
I don't even know what you said after that.
We were so
Yeah,
excited.
yeah.
We're going to be godfathers.
Oh my god, it's crazy.
Because it's like 10th on the list.
Dude, what?
What we're on the list.
So if we have like
where
10
where did we
kids,
start
maybe.
out?
So what are the names of the people ahead of us just in case they have horrible accidents on the way to
right.
childbirth?
That's right. Like who's number 1?
Yeah.
Probably my brother.
Alex?
Yeah.
Turns
he
out
doesn't want that job.
He might have a horrible accident on the Matterhorn.
He may never return to the
And I'm-
States.
And I'm not talking about Disneyland Matterhorn. Your brother is like backpacking around Europe right now, right?
Yeah, vanning around Europe.
Vanning.
Vanny. like
Hashtag van life.
yeah. Wow.
It looks like an amazing trip.
How many times has he taken a shower so far on his trip?
Probably like less than one.
That's
That
crazy.
would be 0 showers.
That is 0. That's the math do math.
Wow.
Anyways, that's the morning monologues. We do it every day.
Thank goodness.
That was quite a journey we went on.
It was a roller
Padres,
coaster
whip
ride.
butter,
Speaking of
Kendall
Matterhorn.
snoring.
You know what we do also on Wednesdays?
What's that?
We typically give away tickets, which we will.
We
Uh-huh.
pop
Okay.
pills, bro.
I don't think that's what we do. Oh, yes. Exactly
Oh, I was like,
correct.
what?
Red pill, blue pill. It's coming up next. We do it every Wednesday.
Stay connected with San Diego Sports 760 no matter where you are, whether you're stepping out of your car or settling in at home. Just command your Google or Alexa smart speaker to play AM 760 or use the free iHeart app for seamless listening. It's like having your favorite station right in your pocket. Yeah.
This update is presented by the County of San Diego Health and Human Services Agency. Starting off with the Pods, they've now won 3 straight games. They beat the Marlins 4-0 last night behind Matt Waldron's best pitching performance of his career, an early home run from Jurickson Profar, and a record-setting performance from reliever Jeremiah Estrada, who now holds the MLB expansion era record for consecutive strikeouts at 13. Western Conference Finals, Timberwolves get a win to extend the series against the Mavericks. Mavs have a 3-1 series lead. It goes back to Minnesota tomorrow night for Game 5. And in the NFL, extension time, man. Texans wide receiver Nico Collins signing a $72 million deal. The 25-year-old wide receiver is locked up after his career year last year. The CJ Stroud effect is real. Children of diverse backgrounds need and deserve a safe, loving, nurturing, accepting, and consistent place to live where they can thrive and mature. Any individual, couple, or family can be eligible to become a resource family. Visit SDCares, 4kids.com.
We should give away some tickets this segment.
We should do it.
Yeah, so keep it locked in here. Which one do you want to give away?
Let's do the All Blacks Flying Fijians, July 19th, Snapdragon Stadium.
Yep, Ticketmaster.com for deets and seats. Otherwise,
I like it.
It feels good to me.
I like it.
Rolls off the tongue. Otherwise, just keep it locked in here because in mere moments, we're going to be giving those away. So don't go anywhere. It's Wednesday. We do it every Wednesday. Little red pill, blue pill. We take pills.
That's right. You got to take one.
Yeah.
And the rules of the game is if you choose a red pill or a blue pill, you got to stick with the decision forever and ever and ever. So we start with the Lakers from the Lakers' point of view. Red pill, Bronny James and LeBron for 1 year. Blue pill, move on from the James gang era.
This is from the Lakers' point of view?
Yeah, so from the Lakers' perspective.
Not a Laker fan.
You just through the eyes of your Genie Bus, you're the owner of the Lakers.
You are swallowing that red pill all day long.
Bronny and LeBron.
Yeah. Why? Dude, that is a money-making team right there. I mean, that's cash cow.
I 100% agree. Red pill the whole way. Look, I understand it feels a little detestable when somebody gets a job that they don't deserve because of who their dad is or who their uncle is or who their aunt is or who their mom is. But it's the reality of this situation. And guess what? It's going to make you money hand over fist if you're Genie Bus. So red pill all day long. If you're the Lakers, you're swallowing the pill. You're taking LeBron and his son, Bronny.
Probably. Yes, I would agree. Like in the logical world that we live in, red pill is the correct answer. The argument for blue pill in my eyes is, do the Lakers care about legacy? Do they care about the winning nature that was the Los Angeles Lakers? Do they care about winning championships? What was the thing Hartman always said? The only banners they hang are NBA Finals banners.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't going to get you there. Like, do you want to get back to an NBA Finals? Do you want to win? Do you want to hang another banner? Because I don't think this is the route to do it. The route to do it is moving on from LeBron James, staying the hell away from Bronny James, and building a team back up that
what
can
about
compete.
an in-season tournament banner?
They hung that up.
Yeah,
they did.
They hung that up. And
Would Dr. Buss have hung that up?
Here's the other fault you're making. There is no way in hell if you move on from LeBron James next season, you win a championship.
Not immediately, but you start rebuilding to a team that 5 or 6 years from now can.
You're operating under this assumption that they're going to make good decisions after LeBron James, and I think that's a really foolish assumption. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. You have LeBron James in your hand with arguably one of the greatest big men in the league. Well, inarguably one of the greatest big men in the leagues in Anthony Davis right now. All you got to do is sign his son to keep him happy, to keep him, and you can win a championship with LeBron James. So I disagree with you. It's red pill, and there's no argument for blue pill. In from the Lakers' perspective, from a Lakers fan perspective, I could see a lot of fans being like,
right,
get rid of it. We're done. Move on.
Right. Yeah. From a fan perspective, this could be totally different. But from a business standpoint,
wait, hang on. Can they win a championship with these two guys?
Oh, absolutely. They did it.
Still.
They did. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because they were not competitive. They were not competitive against the Nuggets this year.
And that's absolutely false. They were competitive against the Nuggets.
In the playoffs?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Did they get swept?
No, it was a gentleman's sweep. But they were competitive.
The Lakers got one.
Oh, yeah.
The Lakers were leading at halftime in 2 or 3 of those games.
Yeah. Well, it was.
Yeah,
They
like-
got gassed.
Like this was a competitive series. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying they were good enough to win the championship this year, but with LeBron, you have a chance to win a championship every single year, and that's still true. You may not believe it, and that's fine. That's my opinion, not yours.
And the Lakers, who look gassed against the Nuggets, if they had some young, fresh, brawny
wasting
blood,
a draft pick on Bronny James might help him out. Red pill, Jamar Chase, blue pill, Brandon Ayuk, neither of whom have showed up at OTAs for their teams. Jamar Chase with the Bengals, Brandon Ayuk for the 49ers. There is a quote out this morning from Nick Wagner of ESPN, who covers the 49ers, saying, while a deal does not seem imminent, the 49ers front office remains confident they will get something done with Brandon Ayuk before the season begins.
For me, it's Jamar Chase, and it's not even close. He was the more talented college receiver. He's a more talented pro receiver. Brandon Ayuk had a breakout year last year, but Jamar Chase is hands down the better talent. So I'm taking the red pill here. It doesn't mean that Ayuk is bad. He's not. It's just the more consistent product.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, but I feel like Brandon Ayuk is quite the difference maker out on the field in a lot of different aspects. I think I'd go blue pill. I'd go Ayuk on this one.
It's hard to do this because we're taking it as if it was on an even playing field of just the talent. If you're just taking the talent at wide receiver, I'm taking Jamar Chase all day long. But if you're taking the people in their systems, Brandon Ayuk is more important to the 49ers system than Jamar Chase is to the Bengals system. I believe. I could be wrong about that, but Jamar Chase has always had multiple other really good wide receivers around him, leaving him open on plays. And while he draws the most attention, T. Higgins draws a lot of attention too.
Debo Samuel.
I know.
Christian
And
McCaffrey
I understand.
And George Kittle have been on the 49ers Ayuk's entire
I understand.
career.
But
Actually,
I
Christian
think,
McCaffrey hasn't been, but those other 3 have.
I understand, but Brandon
What are
Ayuk
you
plays an
talking about?
extremely important role in the 49ers offense.
Jamar Chase has gone for over 1,000 yards
I
all
understand.
3 of his first 3 years in the NFL. He is the Cincinnati Bengals offense.
You're right.
Well, they better do something because he's currently not there.
Yeah. I'm taking Jamar Chase, and it ain't even close. All right, moving on to the next one. Okay, be the only person who cannot talk out of your butt.
Who put this one in the rundown?
That's red pill. Blue pill, be the only person who can talk out of your butt. So either you're a person who's living in a world of butt talkers and you can't, or you're a person who lives in a world of like the world we live in, but you're the only one who can speak from your own ass. So
Does being the only person who can speak out of your butt mean you cannot talk out of your mouth?
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Because if that's the case,
yeah, you cannot talk out of your mouth. You can only talk out of your ass.
Holy cow.
Well,
if everyone's super, no one is.
I'll tell you what, both of these are bad. Because if you think about it, red pill or blue pill, you're going to be ostracized because
you're a weirdo.
Or you're going to be a god.
Yeah.
Give me blue pill. I'll talk out of my butt. I'll be the only one. There's a way you can parlay that into becoming rich. I promise you.
Every like right now, your ass would be on the mic.
Yep.
You would have to be looking at us through your legs.
Does this mean you
down.
fart out of your mouth?
I don't know.
I don't know. No,
TD, you should have thought about this more before you put it on the rundown.
Listen, it was a last-second ad, okay? So, no, I would say, no, you fart like normal, just like you burp like normal. There's exhaust both ways.
Oh, Jesus.
So you'd be farting out of your mouth.
Oh, God. There's no skip button.
I think I would take the red pill on this. I would be the only one who doesn't talk out of their butt.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I'm going red pill. I'll be the weirdo who's talking out of his mouth in the land of butt talkers.
Blue pill. I'm going to turn this into a great career.
Wow.
That's going to be subscription based.
No,
You're going to have to pay $20 a month to hear me talk.
It's Fletch Uncensored.
Has to bring his own mic.
Yeah.
No one will want to use that again.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. You know what? Actually, Fletch can work from home. Okay.
Oh, what if you'd have special pants? Like, would you wear chaps?
I would also need special breath mints or suppositories. Red
It's
pill.
It's not your mouth. It's just how you talk.
You know what, CD? You wrote this last one. Why don't you read it?
Your mom tells you in detail. This is the red pill. Your mom tells you in detail all about her sex life. Blue Pill, you tell your mom in detail all about your sex life.
Blue Pill, 1,000%.
Graphic detail.
Big card about that one.
In graphic detail.
What was Richie doing in college?
No problem. In fact, she's probably heard or unfortunately seen more than she's ever wanted to.
Yeah. I would also take the blue pill on this. This one seems pretty
I don't
easy.
know how many times my mom walked in on me during my time living
Wow.
at her house at 208 Wickshire, but it happened more than once. I can tell you that.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. I'd go blue pill on this. I don't need my mom to tell me about it.
I don't want to hear a single word. As far as my mom's concerned, I was birth of the midichlorians.
Yeah.
Second Star Wars reference in 2 days. I'm really getting into episode 2. Anyways,
I don't want to do this one.
Red pill or blue pill?
I don't want to do this one.
I think it's interesting that you're thinking about this. Like there's a little bit of you going, kind of like to hear what Angela has to say.
No, that is not it. There's a lot of it that's I don't want to tell Angela anything.
Yeah, but that's got to be better than hearing your mom in graphic detail.
It depends on what you think about your mom.
Dude,
like what do you think?
Not in a weird way. Like I think my mom's had sex 3 times.
What?
Natalie, Alex, Ben. That's it. I don't want to know anything else.
I promise that's not the case, and this is nothing against Angela Fletcher.
I thought there was more to that. I thought you were going to carry on.
No.
Yeah.
Blue pill. I'm sorry, Mom. Blue pill.
Wow.
Yeah. You got to tell her everything.
I'm sorry, Mom.
Yep. You got to tell her exactly how Kendall became pregnant.
No.
So congratulations. Wow. No, it made 8.5 months.
I feel very sweaty all of a sudden.
Unbelievable.
Well, listen, snoring is a natural progression with pregnancy. We covered that.
We did.
We're not pregnant.
And I'll tell you what.
People think that you guys are serious.
All signs point to yes.
I will say this. You definitely don't look pregnant anymore.
That's right.
Before we get into your staggering weight loss, I do want to mention that we have a 4-pack of tickets to see the All Blacks and the Flying Fijians at Snapdragon Stadium. If you want to win those, all you got to do is call at 7:45 at 877-767-4760. Be caller number 5. You're going to go see the All Blacks versus the Flying Fijians, July 19th, Snapdragon Stadium, Ticketmaster.com. If you miss out on these tickets, but we'll have more coming up this week. But yeah, you don't look pregnant at all. In fact, I would say you look svelte.
I'm really hung up on that last one.
You mean you're questioning your decision whether or not you made the right one?
No. But here's the deal.
Huh.
About a year ago exactly, I was so fat. Like I'd really lost control. And it's easy to do, man. It's easy to go down that dark and winding road and come out the other side a big, fat fatty. 278 pounds was when I hit rock bottom. That was when Rich Orenberger forced me, picked me up, and put me on the scale. Actually, he couldn't pick me up. He rolled me to the scale.
Yes.
And I saw that number pop up on the screen, and I was honestly shocked. I think I was expecting like 250 to pop up, and that even would have been a problem. 278 popped up, and that was really a wake-up call. And guess what? A week later, we're on the phone with Wayne and Chloe over at SDFatLoss.com. 2 months after that, down 35 pounds. Now I'm down in the 230s. It seriously has changed my life forever. I don't expect to ever get back up to the 270s. Like, if I do, I need someone to come punch me in the face. Would one of you like to volunteer?
Jeez. Wow.
I don't want.
If you get up to the 270s, we can punch you in the face?
Yes.
I mean, all right.
Okay, yeah, fine. So I changed my mind.
SDFatLoss.com, though, means that I won't ever need to get punched in the face because Wayne and Chloe have set me up on this roadmap, and they've given me the tools to make sure that I lead a happier, healthier life. And I don't snore anymore, but now my wife does. But get on over to SDFatLoss.com today. You mentioned Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. You were going to save $200 on the program that has changed all 3 of our lives for the better. And moving forward in my life, I have all these tools that Wayne and Chloe gave me to be able to keep my weight down. So get on over to SDFatLoss.com today. Lose weight the natural way. Don't worry about any injections or drugs or stuff with side effects that you don't even know about. Just lose weight the natural way. And you do that with SDFatLoss.com. $200 off when you sign up today.
Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Congrats to who got our All Blacks tickets?
Scott
Scott.
I thought you were going to say scat.
makes the world go round.
It does.
Really
Was it Budweiser, Scott?
I believe so.
Did he say he's going to hook you up with any of your favorite brew?
No, he just said thank you and I love you guys. I love you dearly.
Love you too, Scott. Love you
Right
too,
on.
Scott. Now, it was determined on Monday. Ben
Nope.
Fletcher's new favorite beer,
Changes nothing.
Busch Light, with a close second, Bud Light. Bud Light chosen as there were 3 rounds of taste tests. Busch Light was chosen twice. Bud Light was chosen once as the best tasting beer. Coors Light never cracked the top 4.
Okay.
Incredible.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we learned a lot about Fletch. Fletch learned a lot about himself.
Yeah.
And even though he's playing it cool right now, 2 days ago, he was like legitimately upset.
Yeah, there was a meltdown.
There was a little bit of a meltdown. There was definitely we actually got to witness an identity crisis
No.
right in front of our eyes.
Nope.
He was questioning everything.
Told you guys, I'm questioning you. He
How-
who poured the beer.
Okay. It was completely legitimate. Before the beer was handed to you, there were letters written on the can and the cup. How
Yeah.
would we mix those up?
Look, denial is a
A
part
river
of
in Egypt.
it's a part of a grieving process that it's something that we understand because we're mature adults
Oh,
and we're going to
right.
help you work through.
Right. You're just on like phase 1.
That's the first thing people say when they talk about Big Rich, TD, and Fletch.
They
Mature adults. Yeah.
they know who the mature adults in the room are, and they come to me and TD for
Yeah.
advice
Right.
and for counsel.
Right.
And you know what? You will too eventually. And
Sometimes they come to us and ask, like, hey, Fletch.
Holy crap.
He's a little immature.
You guys get those notifications when like a lot of people have liked a reel on Instagram?
Yeah.
50,000 people have liked that dumb Waterboy one from Rich.
Not dumb.
You're right. Great Waterboy one
What do
from
you do?
Rich.
What? Yeah.
This is your immaturity now shining through.
Yeah.
God, just because you're angry at yourself,
I'm not angry. Sorry.
stop projecting.
High quality, excellent tweet turned into a picture that got posted on Instagram. Now is up to 50,000
It's got
likes.
CCR playing.
It's yeah, it
It
definitely
helps.
does. Yeah,
It's not Foghat.
No, it's not. I mean, few bands could say they're Foghat. For Christ's
It's
sake,
only one band.
Yeah, well, yeah. there's
One band can say
literally
they're
one band.
Foghat.
But listen, look, I mean, for your birthday, we've already talked about this. Me and TD.
My birthday's not till March.
Yeah, I know. We may do a half birthday though.
Yeah, might have to.
Yeah.
June 27th.
We're going to.
June 27th
that's
is
not right.
not your half
No,
birthday.
September 27th.
That sounds more like
My
it.
cousin's birthday is June
Two
27th.
things we know about Fletch: struggles with math, loves Busch Light, hates Coors Light.
I do not hate Coors.
I mean, Coors Light barely ekes out above Miller Light.
In a blind taste test. In fact, Fletcher 3 times out of 3 put Coors Light in the bottom 4. I mean, that's crazy.
Well, it's crazy.
Well, I guess
Indeed.
in the
That
bottom
was the
2.
bottom 2
Yeah,
out of 5.
Technically bottom
Yeah.
2 out of 5. Anyways,
I don't think you picked Coors as last place, but I don't know if it's
That's better.
fourth place.
hey, we got to turn these back
can't-
on. We're trying to talk.
You're gonna set alarms off if you turn our mics off.
Yeah,
buddy.
we got-
That's better.
We gotta let the people know.
Are we
Well, anyways, listen, we can't get to the Padres here. We've wasted all of our
facts
time.
and stats? We'll do it. We'll do on the other side.
We got some Padres facts and stats, stats and facts coming up next.
This update is presented by Sid's Carpet Barn. Starting off with the Pods, they've now won 3 straight games. They took down the Marlins last night 4-0 behind Matt Waldron's best pitching performance of the season, an early home run from Jurickson Profar, and a record-setting performance from reliever Jeremiah Estrada. He now holds the Major League Baseball expansion era record for consecutive strikeouts. He's at 13 in a row. How high can that record go? Western Conference Finals, Timberwolves get a win to extend the series against the Mavericks. Mavs have a 3-1 series lead. It goes back to Minnesota tomorrow night for Game 5. And in the NFL, Texans wide receiver Nico Collins signing a $72 million deal. For over 70 years, San Diegans have trusted Sid's Carpet Barn for all their floor covering needs. At Sid's, you'll always find great service, low everyday prices, and the largest selection of carpet, wood, laminate, tile, flooring with immediate installation too. Visit Sid's Carpet Barn or visit sidscarpet.com today.
Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you. San Diego Sports 760. Happy Wednesday to those who celebrate. Happy Hump Day to you all. We're doing it again. Mike. The Padres are streaking. Everything's right in the world. Life is good. But here's some facts and stats for you that we've unearthed.
Facts and stats.
Facts and stats. Stats and facts. Padres edition.
What is it? Deets and seats?
That's right. Ticketmaster.com for deets and seats.
We got some facts and stats and deets and seats for you. Spinning the ones and twos here on a Wednesday morning.
Stacks of wax down to the label.
So we have some info for you. The Padres, they're streaking. They won 3 in a row.
Wow.
Okay. Pretty good.
I mean, real good.
Padres were a sub 500 team when they started this streak against the Yankees, and now they're 2 games above 500. How about that?
It's insane.
Now check this out.
Is any other team in the league doing that?
No.
Not that I know of.
No. Actually, there might be.
Yeah, but I'm just saying not that I know of. Right. I did not look up anything.
Probably a lot of teams, actually.
So, well, okay.
God, why?
Padres have a 25-year-old with 13 straight strikeouts.
Yes.
No one else is doing that, I promise you. No one else in Major League Baseball history is doing that.
We got number one. Number one, Jeremiah Estrada.
Woo! Right.
Go get him, Jeremiah.
Yeah, before a month ago, nobody knew his name.
Okay.
Now he's like Alexander Hamilton.
So here's the other side of the coin. Here's the other side of the coin. You want to hear about what the Kansas City Royals have done recently? The Kansas City Royals, who are the Padres' next opponent.
Well, one more against the Marlins.
Right. So their next opponent.
Yeah, they're next.
Right. So next, meaning their next opponent.
But this series isn't done yet.
Right. So their next opponent is the Kansas City Royals.
Same opponent today.
Yeah, same opponent today. So their next opponent, the Kansas City Royals, they've lost 3 in a row.
Losers.
Here's the problem. Before that, they won like 10 straight. So the Kansas City Royals are really good, boys.
Trent is your friend.
So they're 34-22 on the season. The Padres are not. The Padres have this weird thing that they do. They're good for a little bit, and then they're bad. So here's the problem. Here's the problem. And you know it's looming around the corner. It's waiting for us all. They may beat the Marlins today. They may sweep this series. It may be really, really good for the Padres here. But their next opponent, the Royals, who had like an 11-game heater before running into the Twins and losing 3 straight. They have a game today, and then they're going to face the Padres at home. Do you think the Royals are going to be like, just, you know what? We're going to take this series off against the Padres. We'll take it easy on these guys because we're really licking our wounds after that Twin series.
The serious question, does it matter? Like, I don't think it matters how other teams are playing against the Padres. It matters how the Padres are playing. Like, the Padres are good enough to take down any team in Major League Baseball. We've seen them do it. We've seen them do it against the best, the Dodgers. Like, it doesn't matter how other teams are playing.
They did it once against the Yankees.
Yeah.
Right. It matters how the Padres are playing and who shows up.
Man, that's my point. I just feel like as soon as we get comfortable with one thing that we're looking at with the Padres, you know what's waiting for you. And like I said, they could beat the Marlins again today, and that would be great, and I hope they do. But in my mind, just like any other Padres fan who's been watching this season of baseball so far, you know that other shoe is falling. It is about to drop. And we're going to swing. This door is going to, it's like one of those kitchen doors. It opens one way and then it swings right back the other. And I'm counting on it. Want to why? Because I don't want to be furiously disappointed like I was earlier in the season when we didn't know what the identity of this team was, where it's so clear now. You can feel it. It's waiting for us. It's just a matter of time. And I feel like it starts Friday and they go into a weird slump over the weekend and then they come out of it eventually, but it's just back and forth and back and forth.
Would it be boring if the Padres were like the Dodgers, where you just win in the regular season? You know, like you just end the regular season, you can bank on being like 15 to 20 games over 500.
No, that's fun.
I would like that. I would like
wins.
That's fun.
But it's like, it just seems like this team can never do that. Even on great years, even on 2022, it's like they were battling to get into the postseason at the end. Like the stress factor with the Padres is so high when you get to the final months. Like I almost wonder if it would just be boring to just be a shoo-in, to just go and cruise to 25 games over 500.
I'd like to try it.
So you're like I know you watch Padres, but you are a diehard 49ers fan.
Correct.
You don't miss a game. You watch every single snap. Like, would you ever think to yourself, like, wouldn't it be more fun if this team was like a 500 team who was just losing and winning and losing and winning?
No, but I'm saying, like, there are teams in baseball.
You never know if they're gonna make it.
There are teams in baseball who, on paper, aren't that much different than the Padres, who just cruise.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool.
Why can the Padres not just cruise?
no.
Whoa, are we asking why they can't, or you're? Because I thought you were saying, would we like it?
No,
better?
I'm saying how much I would love a boring season. A boring season where you just cruise.
I was not picking up that at all.
You are confusing the hell out of the two of us.
Okay. Then I apologize if I wasn't being clear. What I'm saying, how nice would it be if the Padres just played up to their expectations and just cruised?
That
like,
would be
why
nice,
can they not have that?
That would be nice.
Even in their best years, they don't have that.
You know what would be nice is when I look at the Padres schedule and I go, oh yeah, win. Ooh, that one might be tough. Win. Like Dodger fans do,
right?
You know, where because what is troubling and where the heartache lies is you see the schedule ahead and you go, yeah, I don't know, the team they're playing sucks, so they'll probably lose.
Yeah, look, we attach good feelings obviously to winning teams and winning times. I mean, we aren't so far removed from the 2022 playoffs. That was a lot of fun, like because the Padres were playing, they were on a heater then. They looked great in the postseason, and it felt good because they were cruising. Now, the regular season that preceded that postseason was a cortisol-ridden theme park ride. I mean, they were literally about to get bounced from the postseason days before the postseason. It was awful. And then they figured it out at the right time. Thankfully, they got themselves to a championship series, which, you know, again, you just ran into the red hot bats of the Phillies at that time, and it is what it is. But, you know, you move on to the 2023 season, it was depressing because of how high we were after the 2022 season. It felt like, well, it should continue, and it didn't. And now we're left with this back and forth kitchen door swinging Padres team where again it's cortisol and Zeusing. It doesn't feel right. Now it's better than if they had a losing season. It was depressing, but it's stressful to watch these Padres because you don't know what you're getting when you turn on. Are they going to beat the brakes off of a bad team, or are they going to lose disappointingly to a bad team?
Yeah.
Are they going to beat a great team who you don't really think they belong on the same field with, or are they going to get their brakes beat off by a great team like they did in the first two games against the Yankees? 12 runs to 1 through 2 games.
2022 was magic. 2023 had expectations set so high they could probably never be met unless there was a World Series championship that was brought here to San Diego. 2024, my expectations far lower. This is a much more palatable season so far because this is kind of what I expected them to be, and because that's what we got accustomed to. So if they do anything better than average, I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, I'm on a high right now with 3 wins.
And I hate to do this, but I'm going to. AJ Preller deserves a lot of credit right now. And I don't hate to do that. Like, I'm going to give him his props because of the people he brought in this year that weren't supposed to be great, who have been great. Jurickson Profar has been great. Dylan Cease has been really good. He's been a little up and down, but for the most part, he's been really, really good. And then Arise coming over in trade midway through the first portion of the season. He's been great.
I'll give him credit for Cease and Arise. I won't for Profar. Profar, he's gotten lucky.
He's gotten super lucky.
Yeah.
Where do you give the credit? Directly to Jurickson Profar?
Well, yeah.
And with Jackson Merrill, I'd also put that in the little bit lucky camp because you don't bring up that young of a player.
Yeah, no. I mean, he look, luck precedes talent, or I should say talent precedes luck. He is a talented talent evaluator. If that's so clunky, but he's a good evaluator of talent. So there's no question about that. AJ Preller, in my opinion, his biggest fault is he just has no idea how to build a culture. The Padres still feel to me like a team that's searching for a culture. And it's very obvious the reasons why. AJ Preller, hasn't found a manager to stick with for any length of time. He's literally moved on from 5 managers. He's on to his 6th as a general manager or president of baseball operations. He's barely held on to veterans. He's brought up 0 of his own homegrown talent to his major league roster for any long-standing stretch of time. Name a single farmhand that has made their way through the minors that the Padres have drafted who've brought to the major league level. Name one.
Jackson Merrill.
Yeah, Merrill. If he works out, if it continues to roll here.
Right. We have one, and it's been for a part of a season.
Correct.
It's ridiculous. There is no continuity here. Now, don't get me wrong. If it nets the Padres a championship, great. Well, he's been at it for a decade and they haven't won a championship yet. No. And it's been a lot of losing. Well, so the jury's out on AJ Preller. I'll give him props. He's done some nice job evaluating talent, but he has done a terrible job building a culture of success in San Diego.
Well, his job may get harder if he keeps it and some of these low-paid players continue to do well, because what will happen is, as a business, you go, well, okay, great. How come all the guys that we're paying nothing to are the ones producing? Go ahead and cut back some more and get some more of those lower paying guys if we're just going to have the same sort of 500 record every year.
Well, I feel like for me, if I'm a boss or if I'm a person writing checks and the lieutenant that I give the most power to in my organization misses the biggest on the biggest amounts that we spend, I'm getting rid of them.
You would think.
Baseball contracts are different, man. That money's getting paid to those guys. Now, they all have no trade clauses. Talking about the big 3, Fernando.
No, I'm talking about I'm getting rid of Preller.
No, right. I understand. Yeah. But I'm saying, like, that money is getting paid to those guys, and it has to be their decision if they're going to be leaving the Padres.
Yeah.
And so it's like, yes, those contracts can be ripped up, but that's going to have to start from the player side. And look, we know that 10 years from now, none of those contracts are going to look as good as they do right now, and none of them look all that great right now because none of the 3 players are performing. But the dark days are coming. What can you do to get it done right now? And that's what Kevin was talking about last year when we have him on. The biggest issue with last year's Padres team is the supplemental talent that was cheap was never that good. This year's supplemental talent has outperformed the main talent. How can you balance that out? And maybe this team has a chance of being really good.
If Seidler's still around, is Soto still a Padre?
I think so.
I would make that argument. Yeah, he was spending at an astronomical rate.
Maybe too much. Like, if we're being honest.
You can
not too much for the fans.
Yeah,
I'll bet you the people in the front office right now are probably still a little like, oh, I wish we wouldn't have spent that much.
Right.
Oh, yeah, of course they are.
Yeah. Listen, look, there was obviously a very different approach that Peter Seidler was taking to this whole equation than most of Major League Baseball. In fact, we know that because, literally, outwardly, publicly, certain owners were condemning the Padres for what Peter Seidler was doing. Colorado Rockies owner, Oakland A's owner, there were several comments made about how Seidler's ruining it for the rest of us was the gist, because they were quote unquote smaller market teams who Peter Seidler was shifting the paradigm on. And now their fan bases were going, look what the Padres are doing. Why aren't we doing that here in Colorado? And the answer was, because your owner's cheap. That's the answer. Mm-hmm. Because he don't want to spend. And Peter Seidler did. So yeah, if Soto was still, if Seidler was still alive, there's a good chance that Soto would still be a Padre.
One last note on the stupid Dodgers, who honestly, it feels like the Dodgers haven't been playing that well all year. Like, if you look at the little ESPN schedule, like, you see a lot of red, right? Somehow they're still 35-22. Like, I don't get them.
Culture.
They just cruise.
Culture. Dave Roberts has been there forever. The Dodgers, they draft good homegrown talent and they keep them. CJ Abrams is playing for the Nationals right now. CJ Abrams is a budding star in this league. Josh Naylor is playing for, who is it, the Cleveland Guardians?
Yep.
He's a budding star in this league. The Padres farm staff has been sprinkled throughout Major League Baseball for big bats and big arms that have come and went through this system here in San Diego for years now, because that's how AJ Preller thinks you build a
Trey
championship.
Turner's been a perennial star in this league. He started with the Padres.
Yeah.
Yeah, the list goes on and on, but you almost can't focus on that now. Like, you got to ride with what you got.
Oh, no, there's no question. But the answer to the
It
question,
does hurt.
why do the Dodgers have success? They have a great culture. Why do the Padres struggle? Because they are absent of one.
Well, the Padres were not struggling last night. They won again 4-0. That's 1, 2, 3 in a row. 3 in a row. They're streaking. They're streaking. Profar hits a shot. Solano went 3 for 4. Tatis had a couple hits. Matt Waldron went 7 innings. All around good day for the Padres. Today, getaway day is the Marlins, or they play the Marlins today at 1:10. Then after today's win, they're headed to Kansas City for some barbecue. Woo! Speaking of barbecue, those ribs. Good Lord, Richie.
Yeah.
I keep watching that video.
Should we call our buddy at Kansas City Joe's?
I mean, probably.
Maybe he needs a little help with his recipe.
Yeah, right.
I'm just saying.
Right, yeah.
Those
Hey,
ribs
show
are
him how
pretty
it's
good.
done.
He does not need help with his recipe.
Well,
Are you sure?
he sent us some pretty good ribs.
I
too.
wouldn't know. I've never had Rich's ribs.
Yes, you have. I realized yesterday that you're a
you
liar.
brought in like a 6-pack of them. We each had a couple.
Yeah, you're a liar.
Yeah, you're
And
a
had 'em-
liar.
You had them in the past too. I brought them in years ago, over the pandemic, and then I remember
I
because
didn't have those.
I wore
It's fine.
I wore well.
Did you bring in cheeseburgers and not hand me one?
I've done that as well. I did that as well. I apologize for that as well.
But I have had the ribs and they are delicious.
Yeah.
They were wrapped in foil.
They were wrapped in foil. We might have even had pictures taken. With the ribs.
We may have held up the ribs and taken photographs. In NASCAR, Stewart Haas Racing, co-owned by Tony Stewart and Gene Haas, said we're done after this season. They are not going to come back because they said the commitment to extract maximum performance while providing sustainability is incredibly demanding, and they're not here for it.
That's right.
I like that. In the WNBA, Caitlin Clark let all the naysayers know. She dropped 30 last night, but they still lost. They're 1-7 on the seasons there, the Fever, that is. And in the NBA, Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals last night, no sweep for the Mavs. Minnesota, and they understood the assignment. The Mavericks 105-100.
What's
You're
the
welcome.
real song on that one?
I understood the assignment. I understood the assignment. See?
Those are the lyrics. If you look them up.
Like that.
Okay.
TikTok, hashtag TikTok, famous.
Do you guys see Charlie Hull, who is a lady golfer?
Yeah, dude, this was dope.
Yeah.
Okay, so Charlie Hull.
Hello, dream woman.
She has flowing blonde hair out of the back of her cap. She is one of the better LPGA players. And while she was signing autographs for kids at a recent tournament stop, she was just ripping a heater at the same. She was literally holding a cigarette in her lips while she was just tearing through autographs.
You know not to get in front of me in autograph mode.
I'm
Dude.
normally not the guy to be like, look at something and be like, that's sexist. You shouldn't do that, right? But the people commenting on these posts yesterday were being sexist because it's the same people that would say when John Daly does something like that, it's so cool. And they're the same people who are in the comments saying, wow, she really shouldn't be setting that example in front of kids. She really shouldn't be smoking like that in front of kids.
I think it's hilarious.
I do too.
Yeah.
Listen,
I think those people are nerds.
look,
Shut up.
It's up to you to parent your kids. It's not up to an LPGA golfer. And I get it. Role models are important, and you can choose what role models your kids, or you could help guide them toward what role models that your kids are going to take their social cues from. But I'll tell you what, there is something, especially in today's very puritanical society where everybody is trying to be PC and prim and proper when the cameras are on, to see a lady golfer ripping a heater while she's signing autographs for like a 10-year-old. I mean, it's like, it seems like dangerous. We live in such a, like, hey, let's put some soft patches on all the corners so the kids don't bang their heads on the countertops.
Right.
And then she's literally ashing onto the flag she's signing for this kid.
I think this humanizes athletes as well. I mean, whatever. What if you're into it, you're not into it? It's just kind of goofy. It's kind of funny. You don't have to like her. You don't have to think that this is great. You can think it's bad for kids. Whatever you want to do. To me, I look at this. I think it's funny, but I also think like. We're all golfing. We're having a good time. We're doing the same thing.
That image of her ripping that cigarette in, like she has a club stuffed under her arm, it's very like I put that picture up there with, is it Len Dawson, the Kansas City Chiefs guy who was smoking a cig and had a Fresca in the locker room? Like that's a badass picture. Jim Leland, who was a manager for a long time in the majors, he used to figure out where the cameras were around the ballpark, and he would hide his cigarette with his hand. Right. So you would just see a puff of smoke come out. You would never see the actual cigarette, but there's a great photo of a puff of smoke leaving his mouth. I put that in the Smoker Hall of Fame.
That was my history teacher.
Were there any other like badass like people smoking in sporting events where they shouldn't be?
Who looked cool?
Like Babe Ruth had a cigar hanging out of his mouth in some pictures.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to see cigarette. Who smoked? Yeah, I mean a lot of athletes.
I mean Ha-Seong Kim. I just don't think we have video evidence.
But here's the thing. Okay, so the Padres win the wild card round against the Mets. They win the divisional round against the Dodgers in 2022. How did they celebrate? They all got drunk on live television and sprayed champagne all over each other. We didn't demonize the Padres for using
cool.
Yeah, and by the way, it's a legal drug. Alcohol is a drug. People get addicted to it hopelessly, and they die as a result of using that drug. But we celebrate along with the Padres. Okay, so guess what? She's a cigarette smoker. So what? I mean, what we're gonna demonize her for smoking? I mean, don't get me wrong. I get it. Like, I totally understand how certain people are like, well, this athlete is portraying themselves a certain way, and then all of a sudden, they're also human beings. And I agree with what you said, TD. I think it kind of humanizes her. It makes it look like a full, real person who may have some nerves that she's tamping down with a parliament after a round.
It's just kind of funny. Yeah. I just laugh at it. John Daly, I think, is funny.
Yeah, the picture of John Daly before the Players' Championship where he's like in the full swing and he's on his follow through and the cig is just sitting right there.
Yeah. That's funny.
How does he not burn his pullover?
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
That's an athlete.
He's an athlete.
That's what
he's an athlete.
He's a god.
Pro athlete. That's what happens.
Speaking of a god and a pro, Kevin Acee joining us on the other side, our Padres insider, our best friend, writer for the UT San Diego.
I legit thought you were saying, speaking of a god, have you seen how much weight I've lost?
That's a better segue. Actually, I wish I would have thought of it. Thank you.
Because Rich Ornberger is hot.
Not the god, but a god.
A god.
Yeah, I mean, that's like crazy.
Polytheistic. Look, the point is, I've lost a lot of weight. Tons.
Yeah.
35 plus pounds with stfatloss.com. The guidance from Wayne and Chloe, the weight loss team with stfatloss.com, is remarkable. And I will remark on it because it is remarkable. They have guided not only me, but TD has lost over 30 pounds. Fletch, damn near 50 pounds since starting with SD Fat Loss. He looks like a completely different guy.
This shirt didn't fit.
That shirt did not fit. Those buttons didn't button.
Not that you use them anyways.
And these colors don't run. Yeah. The point is, stfatloss.com, they're going to do it the natural way. No drugs, no injections, no weird, calorie counting or point counting or shakes delivered to your front door. It's just good old natural weight loss. And it's just a little bit of effort on your end and a great plan from them. And it comes together. And we've benefited greatly from this. So use us as an example. Go to their website, stfatloss.com, see the other befores and afters that have been taken with many other people, not just us. This worked for thousands of their clients. So if you're looking to lose weight, summer months are ahead, quickly approaching, by the way. It's May 29th. So you're going to be on the beach somewhere regretting that you didn't lose the weight unless you start right now. And when you start at sign up, you mention our name, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. You're going to save yourself $200.
Yeah, you understood the assignment.
Certainly did. stfatloss.com, Kevin Acee next.
Keep up with San Diego Sports 760 anytime, anywhere, whether you're stepping out of the car or settling in at home, maybe by the fire, just relaxing. And then you ask your Google or Alexa smart speaker to play AM 760 or stream it live through the iHeartRadio app. It's never been easier to stay connected with your favorite shows like this one right here, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. San Diego Sports 760 goes where you go. Yeah.
This update is presented by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Starting off with the Pods, they've now won 3 straight games. They beat the Marlins 4-0 last night behind Matt Waldron's best start of the year. Record-setting performance from reliever Jeremiah Estrada. He now holds the Major League Baseball expansion era record for consecutive strikeouts, 13 in a row. Western Conference Finals, Timberwolves get a win. They extend their series against the Mavericks. Mavs have a 3-1 series lead. It goes back to Minnesota tomorrow night for Game 5. And in the NFL, Nico Collins, $72 million deal. 50 of that is guaranteed, by the way. That 25-year-old receiver had a career year last year. CJ Stroud and Nico together for a while. It's a time to say goodnight to that check engine light with the free AutoZone Fix Finder service. It'll help troubleshoot the likely cause of your light for free so you can drive with peace of mind. Restrictions do apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone, our very best friend in the whole wide world, Kevin Acee, coming up next.
Yeah, it's Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. It's San Diego Sports 760. Before we get to our best friend in the whole wide world, Kevin Acee. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, we got a couple minutes here because we gotta do some technical items here to make that work to get Kevin on. So we'll be talking to Kevin in just a minute here. But we do have a pair of tickets to go see NF at Viejas Arena on June 6th. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com. Oh, I'm sorry. For deets and seats, go to Ticketmaster.com or just keep listening for your chance to win those. But yeah, we'll be talking with Kevin here in just a moment, talking a little Padres baseball. Will they ever lose again? That's probably where we'll start the conversation because the Padres streaking, baby, 3 games in a row, and they're now 2 games over 500, 30-28. The guys that aren't supposed to be playing this well are playing that well, and that's been the conversation for the past season and a half now. But without Profar, without Solano, Jackson Merrill. I mean, is this team where they're at today? No, the answer is no, they're not. So we're still sitting here waiting for the Manny Machados and the Tatis to get hot. Ha-Seong Kim, Cronenworth's been okay. So, it's been hot and cold. And that's the story of the Padres as we sit here crossing our fingers that they're going to figure out how to turn things around here and heat up just at the right time. But we'll be getting to more Padres talk here in just a sec. Some updates here with Scotty Scheffler out at the PGA Championship when he was arrested. There's some new footage that I have not seen yet, so I'll have to just kind of read transcripts here. But new footage of him back in the back of the cop car of him admitting I should have stopped. Now, he also says that he was hit with a flashlight at some point. He also said that he didn't know that the cop was a cop. So some interesting details that are going to be coming out here. We haven't heard that charges have been dropped or changed or whatever, but we'll be waiting on that and we'll update you accordingly as we get information. Meanwhile, how we looking here? Are we still dialing it in? Yeah, we're okay. We're still standing by here for our best friend in the whole wide world, Kevin Acee. But yeah, man, interesting. I like I said, I think it'll be coming out very shortly here. Whether or not Scotty Scheffler's charges are dropped. If they're not dropped, this will be an interesting court case, to say the least. So, yeah, who knows? But
I think Kevin can hear us. He's texting me.
Okay, Kevin.
He can't.
He cannot hear us, Kevin. Technology. Should we just try to call him and forego the technology?
Guess what?
What? We got it. We did it. Kevin Acee, you here?
I am here.
Golly, I was sweating it, Kevin. I was hoping you were okay. I didn't know.
I could hear it in your voice.
Yeah, could you?
Yeah, a lot of stress. I mean, you were worried.
Yeah, we're definitely worried. Well, look.
Oh boy,
we love you.
Lost again.
What? You can't hear us? How could that be possible?
Kevin.
Oh, geez.
Hello.
Yeah, we lost Kevin.
We hear you.
We hear Kevin. He can't hear us. The technology failed. I would say that's probably a connection on his end. But so as we work that out, it's fine. We could again just try to dial him up so we can ask him the hard-hitting questions as Rich pounds open the door. We're having technical difficulties as we're trying to get our best friend in the whole wide world on the line here, Kevin Acee. I think Ben's just gonna call him and make it happen.
It's probably for the best.
Yeah. You okay? Is that door okay?
No, yeah, neither. Everything's fine.
Wow. It's unbelievable.
We got him.
We got Kevin again.
We got him.
Kevin, can you hear us?
This is quite the roller coaster
of emotions. You're right. Yeah, because you're here, you're not. It's just like when I was a kid. Like, will my dad hang around? But Kevin,
Jesus.
What?
No, dude, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Kevin, we love you. Kevin, the Padres, will they ever lose again? Oh my gosh, this is not working well at all.
Can I answer for Kevin?
Yeah.
Oh God, you know what? You guys do every once in a while. I must say, you do ask a question. It's kind of like the blind squirrel in the forest. Like, will he find a nut? Occasionally, my goodness, and very similar to how Fletch slipped over that acorn. You guys did find a nut. Now, was it in a hiking path? No. But will the Padres lose again? Yes. The point is, look, they need more from the guys they're paying the most. Wait, is he back?
You're back, yeah.
All right, sorry, Kevin. I was answering for you.
Yeah, we were just role playing Kevin Acee.
Wow, this is quite the roller coaster. I'm not sure. I keep hearing you, and then you're gone, and I sure hope this works, guys.
It's, you know what? Now we're just on the trusty old telephone, so I think we'll be okay. I was asking you before you disappeared, and Rich became Kevin Acee, if the Padres are ever losing again at this point. I mean, what are your thoughts?
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it because what I think you're doing here is satire to show sort of the ridiculousness that we all put ourselves through by living with all the ups and downs of the season. I think that is brilliant. You are so high-minded.
Can I ask you this question?
Just high, not high-minded.
Because you've been around baseball a lot longer than the three of us combined, and you certainly have spent more time in clubhouses than the three of us combined, and probably ever will. When you mention that, the up and down of a season, right? Like, do players really care? Like, do managers really care? Does anybody really care whether you win or lose any given game? Or is it such a long season that the majority of the quotes you're getting from players and managers are performative and they're saying what they think the fans want to hear? And it like, because in football, and Kevin, I promise you this is the truth, wins and losses really hurt. They really friggin' hurt. Or excuse me, wins are really great, losses really hurt. But in baseball, it has to be different, right?
Yes. Now, yes, and I point that out to people all the time, that the difference of going in a locker room at the end of an NFL week, and that's what it is. It's the week. And then look, now I'm telling you as if you don't know this, but you felt it. A bunch of men worked on one goal for an entire week, had this incredible, what they felt was the best plan to win. Then if they throw in the physicality that it takes for most of them, not kickers, but the physicality that most of them to play the game. And I mean, it was just, wow. And then the opposite, a win, right? You got Monday off, and I mean, wow, it works, guys. And wow. And no, it is not. Now, it's not exactly like you said, but you made a lot of good points in there. Yes, they care. Though there are many nights where it's like, okay, I mean, they had an hour and a half to process it, right? Because they were losing 9-0 in the fourth inning, right? And, there's 120 games to go. And so, yeah, maybe sometimes there is some manufactured disappointment, or heck, even some, manufactured, ebullience. A little early for me to say that word, but I think I did a pretty good job. There's some, manufactured joy. But no, not performative, and certainly not a blanket statement about that. But yeah, we could do a whole class on the differences between the NFL season and the MLB season and how to navigate it. And since I kind of went right from that's what I did. I went from baseball to football and then football back to baseball. And I mean, it is shocking.
It is crazy to think about, because how much of an MLB season makes up one NFL game, and the number's a lot. But Kev, this guy Jeremiah Estrada, he gets waived from the Cubs, comes over to the Padres. He was in AAA until about a month ago. He gets pulled up. Now all of a sudden he's setting MLB records. What do we need to know about Jeremiah Estrada? What does the fan base need to know about Jeremiah Estrada now that everyone cares so much about him?
It's the greatest kind of story that can emerge in a baseball season. And it's just a lot of fun. It kind of, it helps you get through it. It's kind of like why we watch sports, besides rooting for your team to, win the championship. This is fantastic. He's a great kid. He was put on waivers by, basically released. He was let go by the Chicago Cubs after a few years of, in 2019, he had Tommy John, missed a portion late 2021 COVID as he's coming up through the minors, just had some injury stuff and couldn't really throw strikes. Plus, really had two main pitches. Did not have a splitter that he has now, that he just started throwing with one of the Cubs pitching coordinators last year while he was down in Arizona. And whoa, it is a fantastic pitch. I wrote about it the other day, where when he met Ruben Niebla, the pitching coach for the Padres, and Ruben's like, so what do you got? Show me what you got. And he threw the splitter, and Ruben's like, that's your second pitch right there. It's not the slider anymore. It's this pitch. Now the fastball, it has, and I forget the term the Padres use. Every team's got their own little proprietary terms, but the term the Padres use about fastballs that rise, but it's got this obviously it's an illusion that it rises because that would defy gravity, but that's what they call it. And it's got this rise that at 100 miles an hour, this thing's just moving all over the place. And the kid's just got a live arm, and they've done things with his body to change his delivery, to give him more repeatability and consistency so that he is throwing strikes. And right now, look, the league will make adjustments. They do. They'll figure out he won't always be this hot, but the guy's virtually unhittable.
Kevin AC, our Padres insider. Kevin, Fletch very well here. I mean, we love each other, of course. Fletch with a good leg, no cast, all back together. Do you think he could throw a baseball 70 miles per hour?
Good question.
No.
Okay.
I don't know
not even a
anything
pause.
about the background, and it is possible. I mean, I don't know. Like maybe he could, but that's like harder than like most of us can do. Now he's so much younger. Maybe I'm forgetting, but no, I just don't. I don't think so. Fletch?
I don't know, Kevin. I
said you
threw this
could.
out
Okay.
arbitrarily yesterday when we were talking about Matt Waldron and how sometimes his is down, but whatever, because Matt Waldron, whatever. It's not important. I said it's not like it's me out there throwing 70 miles an hour. It's because Matt Waldron's ball moves so much that it's still unhittable at 70 miles an hour.
that's so-
And then they take it as,
Well, hang
oh,
on.
we need to buy a radar
Oh.
gun on Amazon and see if you can throw 70 miles an hour.
Well, so we said, wait a second, you can throw a baseball 70 miles an hour. And he said, well, no, I just meant, and then he was like, well, I mean, yes, probably. And then we're like, wait, what?
It's like, give me a crow hop. I know at times in whatever. This is so stupid. This is what they do, Kevin. And then it becomes me being this cocky a-hole when that's not me.
What?
Oh, that's phenomenal! Wow,
I know,
That
it's
must be-
phenomenal.
It's like the little brother. Fletch, and like you're the kid. Like
Yeah.
that's it.
I've played this role my
Everything
entire
you
life.
Yeah.
You know, at least these guys don't hit me as much
Kevin-
as my actual older brother did.
Kevin, is there any way you could set up a time where we can go out to Petco Park and throw a baseball and have a radar gun?
Yeah, we need
let's
your
throw
help.
this around. Let's see what's up here.
Okay.
I don't want anybody getting hurt, and you know, of course, neither with the Padres. So you know.
Oh. So we
Yeah.
have to do it like in the street out in front of Petco Park.
How about at the San Diego
Yeah.
County Fair where there will be one of those booths?
Oh my
I'm a little worried about not only Fletch, but maybe where the ball might go as he exerts himself to get past like 54 miles an hour.
So
Yeah,
wait, is that where you think it'll top out at 54? Okay.
No, I need to think about this. First, I also need to see him throw. Kind of need to test the leg, like where we at. By the way, is that your push leg or your landing leg?
It is my right leg, so it would be the push-off leg, and I'm
Okay.
still months away from being healthy enough to do something like this. However, Kevin, you did poo-poo the food in Cincinnati, and you said Skyline Chili sucks. Now you're going to Kansas City. It's impossible to complain about their food. Are you going to complain about their food?
No, I'm just talking with someone the other day. Some of the best meals I've ever had, not just barbecue, but like Italian. I could think of one meal. Some of the best food I've ever had.
We should send Kevin as an emissary to Joe's.
Kansas City, very well known for their Italian food.
I'm telling you, they have really good food there.
It feels like
Italian places.
maybe a lot of the mobsters who were in the witness protection program ended up in Missouri. You know what I mean? I could do that. It's grandma's sauce. It's the recipe from the old country.
If we send you to a barbecue place, will you go?
Let me see. What's my schedule Thursday? Yeah, I mean, I could do that. Like, sure, yeah.
We'll set it up.
We'll get 'em on the phone.
We'll set it up.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know what that means. Like, am I taking like a camera crew? Like, what do you mean? You
Oh, that's a
send me
good
to
idea.
barbecue place. Like, what does that mean?
We have a connection in Kansas City that we may be able to get in touch with and get something done so that you can send us a live update from a restaurant or potentially even a taped update from a
Right.
restaurant where you're letting us know if you enjoy the food and fare that we've provided for you.
I'm gonna, I'm a little worried about this. You like what kind of food?
It's gonna be
Just, like,
great.
being that I'm just listening to how you guys, bamboozle Fletch.
No.
and I'm just thinking, what is this that I'd be signing
No,
up?
no,
for?
Kevin, they
one-
respect you so much more than they respect me.
And we didn't bamboozle him at all. He threw it out there and we just picked it up.
It's like the rakes around here, they don't even hide in the grass. Like he just steps on it. They're like he just
Bye, Kevin. Love you.
No, okay. We'll send you the deets and seats.
All right, guys. Hey, have a really good day.
yeah,
you too.
You
Go,
too, Kevin.
Go Padres. We love you.
We love you, Kevin. I feel like that was a strong showing, even though we had a lot of technical difficulties on connecting. That was as good of an interview as we could possibly have.
I think
Kevin
I might
Acee,
actually-
considering the circumstances.
I might actually hate you guys.
Why?
I think I might.
We you throw things out there again.
This was not even this. This was you guys turning something I said into a thing, and now it's a thing. And now I'm gonna have to like train my arm to get ready for something.
You've never trained for any other athletic event. What are you talking about?
I don't understand why you would spend a second training. I mean,
I don't want to throw my shoulder out trying to go balls to the wall.
It did work for you in the Hardwood and Balls Classic, not training at all. I remember specifically looking at you and being like, you know what? No signs of tiredness.
No. And
I hate you guys.
I don't know if during the Hardwood and Balls Classic you were wearing your arch supports, but it didn't look like it, to be quite honest.
Yeah,
it's not even a live read we have coming up.
Oh, it's not?
That's fine.
It says it here.
Yeah, it does.
That might be old.
Yeah. Oh,
look, the point is, we're all dear friends. Coming up next, bottom of the barrel, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch.
Keep up with San Diego Sports 760 anytime, anywhere. Whether you're stepping out of the car or settling in at home, just ask your Google or Alexa smart speaker to play AM 760 or stream it live through the iHeartRadio app. It's never been easier to stay connected with your favorite shows like Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. San Diego Sports 760.
Nothing is impossible.
Woo!
TD and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760. It's been that kind of a day
Yeah.
for the production
I'm gonna
studio.
throw something.
Did you say that on the air or just us?
Just you guys.
Okay, got it.
Big Rich, TD and Fletch. Okay, so we do have a giveaway. We have the NF tickets to the June show, NF at Viejas Arena. So if you want to win those, just keep listening. We'll tell you how and when to call.
We were trying to play a Joe Moon talk back about our red pill, blue pill. And what did he say? Did he pick a pill? We don't know. Nothing's working over.
Nothing's
on
working.
Fletch's
It was
side.
basically about, okay, well, if I'm talking to, no, I can't say like Joe Moon.
Okay. All right.
It's okay.
It's fine.
It's
Well,
fine.
you know what? We'll get to it tomorrow. We got all kinds of time.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true.
Tons
Yeah,
of time. We
Hang
got
on, I
three-
downloaded it. Let me see if it plays now.
Okay, here we go.
Hang on. Here we are.
Hey guys, okay. Only question I got for you guys: if Flesh is talking out of his butt, okay, if he's talking out of his butt the same way he would, if he was talking out of his mouth, okay.
Mhm.
So say Flesh goes out on a night down and he gets really, really drunk. The next day he has a really bad hangover. Normally, you stick your finger in your mouth to make yourself throw up. So what does Flesh do? Question, huh?
That's a good question.
It's, you know what? We'll have to
Say
break
what?
that down
You-
post show.
You pull the trigger. I mean, yeah, you do it.
What?
I mean, every once in a while, you got to reboot, Control Alt Delete. You got to tickle the uvula.
Thank you, Kevin AC.
Yes.
Thank you, Joe Moon.
Yes.
You want some tickets?
Yeah, 877-767-4760. If you want to win those NF tickets, all you have to do is call in at exactly 8:57 at 877-767-4760.